I don't even know if this could be heard. Welcome to the stream. How we doing? Are you ready for a Pokemon Direct? Let's see. Let me test this. Is that too loud? I mean, it is important that everybody can hear it, right? But I need to be heard more. And it do be hella early. About time. Indeed. Yeah, I'm a little late. Yeah, what can I say? I've been busy. I woke up late, though. It's okay, though. I got my coffee. I'll live. I did not do a good job on that coffee. Made it too weak. I made it too weak. I woke up and it was like in the middle of the direct and I was like, oh shoot, I forgot. I forgot that there was a Pokemon Direct today. Found out about this direct 2 minutes before it started. I was not prepared. That's hilarious. I heard about it, but honestly I forgot because I thought it was Thursday. And you already can know that Pokemon and Nintendo, they freaking Japanese companies, they start at the crack of dawn as early as possible. Okay. I have no care for this, but since you're streaming, I may as well watch. Lamau! I love that, Terry. Welcome to the stream. I gotta add everyone, actually. My bad. Hold on. Oh yeah, but please no spoilers because I've never seen this yet. At everyone Pokemon Direct reaction. Never seen this yet? What Pokemon? Alright, so I guess before it starts, I'll do what I usually do. The time before the Pokemon Direct. Or any Direct, really. I'll say what I predict will be there and what I hope to be there. What I hope to be there is Explorers of Sky remake. That would be the greatest thing of all time. I've always said the Explorers remake would be perfect because they could just use the same engine that they used for Explorers DX, and that'd be great. I personally think that that's the best Pokemon game they've ever made, was Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Explorers of Sky. Well, maybe that's a little bit. I still think Arceus is so high, man. Arceus is such a great game. It just has so many graphical issues, man. They fix that up. Speaking of, do I think Arceus, or I should say a new Legends game is possible? Maybe. If they were to do a Legends game, then I'll be pissed off if it's 2024. It better be at least 2025 if they release that. God, I'll be so pissed off. By the way, no spoilers in the chat, because obviously I haven't seen it yet. I'm just talking to myself right now. I'm showing on Twitter. Oh, I'll check out the Isaac stuff after this reaction. I'm down. AP US history. I gotta see Later Man or Mr. Man react to Pokemon. That's true. I will say, out of all things, you know, hey, many people consider me to be the Pokemon guy, right? Even though I haven't been playing Pokemon. Yesterday was my first Pokemon stream in ages. Hey, thank you for the resub, Poke Abby. I appreciate it. Oh, I thought you were gonna be busy. I didn't realize you'd be able to react to the stream. Welcome to the stream. Okay, so yeah. Honestly, I think Legends is at least more likely than like a new generation or a remake even. I do not think Black and White remakes are coming yet. I do not. I think a Legends game is possible. I just really hope that they at least wait till 2025. Honestly, I'd be ecstatic if it was 2026. But if they announce a Legends game and it's 2024, I'm gonna be pissed. But yeah, no, Explorers of Sky would be sick. I still think they'll do it, man. Why would they not? It's such a good game, bro. They already have the engine. Massive Pokemon fan, Gino. Welcome to the stream. God. And then, okay. That's what those are the two things I would really want. A late release Legends game. And honestly, they can explore Explorers of Sky remake in like 5 months probably, if they're using the same engine. Listen, man, I just want that game so bad. All right? Everything else? Oh, NSO, for sure. I still have no idea why they have not brought the older Pokemon games to Nintendo Switch Online. It baffles me. It actually baffles me. It makes no sense that they do not have them on there. Even just Red Blue. What are they thinking? What are they thinking? I'm not going to say anything. I appreciate that. We all know Pokemon only releases good games over 10 years ago. Probably scared of people hacking the Switch and playing ROM hacks or something, I suppose. That the Pokemon X DBZ crossover is the main topic for this direct. True. God, I mean, what else could I say? Those are only the 3 big things. I do not think Gen 5 remakes are coming. I don't even think they're going to be announced. In fact, I'm glad that they wouldn't be. God, if they do. Ugh. I don't even want to see it. I don't even want to see it, bruh. Pokemon DLC for Jump Force. I mean, we're done with Scarlet and Violet DLC, I'm sure. I feel like Scarlet and Violet's done for, right? They're done with it. They're probably going to move on. I do think most of it is just going to be, like, ads, right, for their mobile games. So, honestly, who knows? I could be speculating all this stuff, and there's not going to be anything big, right? I'm just asking for disappointment. Either way, let's get into it. 2 biggest things I'd hope for is Explorers of Sky and a late release Legends game. Because I still think Legends Arceus is the blueprint for what a good Pokemon game could be. I mean, I still think it's a good game, but, you know. Look at my man Pikachu. By the way, let me know if the stream sounds good. If you could hear it all right. If I should turn it up or turn it down.
Hello, everyone. I'm Ishihara from the Pokemon Company.
What's up, my man?
February 27th is Pokemon Day. This is the date that the Pokemon Red and Pokemon Green games were first released in Japan.
Pokemon Green.
Our adventures with Pokemon, which
Needs to be turned up. It's pretty quiet. Okay, thank you.
Trading and battling, and the Pokemon Red and Pokemon
How's
Green
that?
games have expanded to fit into so many facets of daily life, including walking and sleeping.
That's okay. We're just talking about Pokemon Sleep right now.
New ways to enjoy Pokemon.
A bit more? Wow,
We hope
okay.
You'll continue your adventures with us. Today, we will be bringing you all the latest news about Pokemon, including our newest titles. Mr. Utsunomiya, please take it away.
How about that?
Hello, I'm Utsunomiya from the Pokemon Company. I hope everyone has enjoyed their adventures in the Pokemon Scarlet and Pokemon Violet games so far.
I enjoyed
To
it
commemorate
at 2
Pokemon
frames
Day,
per second.
We've planned a series of Terra Raid battle events where you'll be able to face off against a mighty Venusaur.
Don't forget about Pokemon Brush Your Teeth. True.
will begin tomorrow. We hope you will all enjoy these.
Bro, Pokemon has become so
Today,
much more
I'd also like
corporate,
to share
man.
the latest updates on a number of our other games. Please have a look at
Call it the Pokemon Sleep. Pokemon, do your taxes. Pikachu will help you do your taxes. It's sick. We go into extreme
A
depth.
collaboration event with Pokemon Go is on its way.
That's really funny. I still have yet to watch the new Pokemon anime. I saw the first episode. I liked it. After I finished
Pikachu
the
will
Ash
capsize
journeys, I was
making
like,
its
that was
debut.
sick, man. I loved that
Even
last
knows an
season.
Attack new to Pokemon Go.
Super
Volt
nostalgic.
Tackle.
Hey, yo, Volt Tackle Pikachu?
Charcadet, Armor Rouge, and Ceruledge are coming too. And Liko
Only
and Goro will be
those?
dropping in when you snap a pick and go snapshot. So set out on an adventure with your new.
They really said, hey, these are the most popular Scarlet and Violet Pokemon. Let's just put those in. These are the new Lucarios. Pokemon Cookbook is a little bit morbid, Gino. You gotta take it back a little bit. What the hell is this? Oh, this is a freaking. I already know what this is. This is a freaking raid event, isn't it? Because they put so much production quality into the Mewtwo one. I'm gonna be pissed. They have so much production quality into this, and it's just gonna be a Raikou raid event. Oh no, it's Pokemon Sleep. Why do they have so much production quality into this? These trailers look so much better than any of the games they ever put out, bro. It's Pokemon Sleep. I still think Masters was a good idea, though.
I never give up.
I couldn't get into it because of its gameplay, but I'm a sucker for the Pokemon trainers. What can I say?
We're the greatest in the world. You're the greatest and strongest
My man
partner
Silver.
I could ask for. Fight!
They got Megas? I didn't even know that. You're really gonna put Gita in this game after we trash talked her for years? Not really years, but... Sleeping next to you, Reka just chilling in your bedroom, pulls out phone. For real! Yeah! If there's a Raikou chilling next to my bed, the first thing I do is not get on my phone. First thing I'm doing is getting the frick out of there before I freaking die. That was fire! I don't give a damn about Cafe Mix, but that song went hard. Hold on. I only got a single bit of gameplay. Okay, that little about her, true. Like, they included it because they needed to, but they didn't want to. Let's be real. Yeah, I think even Pokemon Company knows that they threw with Gita. Did anybody play the Scarlet Violet DLC? Did Gita at least do stuff in that, or no? I didn't play it, so... Oh, Miraidon and Unite. I also think Unite was a good side game. It's just a game I couldn't get into. It's a good idea, honestly. And honestly, from what I can tell, it seems like it's a good game. I just am not into that style of game.
Moving on, please have a look at this video.
I can fix it, Abby. How's that? For a bit, it's extremely pay to win. Oh, is it really? Actually, never mind, you're right about the audio. I was watching on speakers. It's much better on headphones, my bad. Oh, okay, I'll turn it back down then, because I know Big Sad said it was good. Yeah, how's that? Oh, this is interesting. They got cards on the phone. I was not watching. You got a pack? Oh, this is a good idea. You could trade cards, like... What is this? Oh! The TCG game is on phone now? That's genius. That's actually genius, I gotta say. I loved the TCG game back when Black and White came out. God, I'm so old. When Black and White came out, I remember downloading the program for the TCG game on computer. And God, I would only use the starter packs that they give you when you download it, but it was so much fun. And this way you could actually get packets and trade. Wow! This is genius, actually. See, this is a good decision. I gotta say, I'm for this. Trading card game pocket. That's actually a good idea for a gacha game, I gotta say.
What you just saw was the world's first look at Pokemon Trading Card Game Pocket. This game lets you easily collect Pokemon cards, which players all over the world have enjoyed since they debuted.
I actually think you
in
need to turn it down
1996,
slightly again
but
now.
in a new digital format.
Okay.
The Pokemon Company is developing this game as a three-party collaboration with Creatures Inc., the creators of the Pokemon trading card game,
How's that?
and DNA, our partners in the development of Pokemon Masters.
Please let me know as soon as
To mark the
possible.
launch of this title, here's a message from Mr. Yuji Kitano, President and CEO of Creatures. Mr. Kitano, take it away.
Hello everyone, I'm Yuji
That's a great
Kitano
idea,
from
Abby.
Creatures Inc. I'd like to start by thanking everyone for enjoying the Pokemon trading card game. With Pokemon Trading Card Game Pocket, we
Yeah,
hope to
honestly,
bring you
the
all
Pokemon
a
trading
new
card
way to
game,
enjoy the Pokemon
I don't
trading
even have any
card.
qualms with
So we
it.
are
I
hard
just
at
never
work
really was
developing
like
digital
a
cards.
big trading card kind of guy growing up. But
When
I
we
can
develop
respect the
physical
cards. I think
we
that they do
strive
a
to
good
please
job.
by taking great care with our paper quality,
Like
colors,
design-wise,
printing
and
process.
I think the game is fun. It's
Since
no
this
Magic the
game uses
Gathering,
mobile
though.
devices rather than paper, we're challenging ourselves to express that care in new ways that are only possible digitally, such as using the characteristics of the screen to show off brilliant colors and stylish effects. One way we're accomplishing this is with immersive cards, which give players the experience of leaping into the world
Oh,
of
wow.
card illustration. What's more, we've developed
That's
new
a cute little
streamlined game
touch.
rules based on our existing battle system, so you can enjoy a quick battle during the free moments in your day.
Maybe I'll actually get this. This actually sounds like fun.
Our three companies are all working hard to deliver a fun experience for those of you who already enjoy the Pokemon trading card game, as well as those who've never played before. We hope you look forward to the results of our latest efforts in
I
the
tried
world
a game
of the
recently,
Pokemon
and
trading
in the
card
base
game,
sets, the
Pokemon
EX
Trading
cards
Card
suck to
Game
play
Pocket.
with. It's basically who
Thank
can
you
get their
so
EX
much.
card out first wins. Oh, really? Yeah, I
you, Mr.
like I
Kitano.
said, the last time I played TCG was black and white, so
We
I
plan
don't
to
really
launch Pokemon Trading
know
Card
the
Game
scene at
Pocket
all.
within 2024. Please look forward to more details in the future. Just one
Chop
more
down
thing.
digital trees.
We'd like to end today's presentation with
I think
one
that's
final
called a
video
digital
for
card
you
bar
all.
for your digital addiction. True.
Thank you for tuning in.
Wait, is this the last announcement? Hold on. I gotta get back on my unknown grind. So what? SOEY. I don't know what this is. And this is E. It says see you. Oh God. Wait. No, that's not an O, is it? Is that really O? I thought O like went around it. It's probably Japanese, right? Oh. Okay. Never mind. Abby's totally right. That makes way more sense. It definitely is Japanese. I don't know why I didn't think about that. That's a good point. I was like, this word doesn't make sense. English is the only language. What is this, the last announcement? Confidential. No gameplay footage. This seems like a big deal. That symbol! The symbol at the top right. That looks familiar. What is this, Detective Pikachu? Wait, is it actually Detective Pikachu? Well, no, because it doesn't have the hat. Is that not the legend symbol? Am I tripping? This looks like Kalos. Oh, it is Kalos. Is this Z? Oh my god, is this a Legends Z game? That's definitely Lumio City. Lumio City. Urban development from Lumio City. What is this game? What? Legend Z? $2025! That's the best news I've seen this entire direct. 2025! I don't give a damn it's Legends. I'm glad it's 2025. It's not 2024. Thank God. God, I don't even know if 2025 is going to be long enough. Hopefully it's late 2025. Fudge! With Pokemon Company, you pray for the longest waits possible. Yo! What? Okay, I was not ready for that. I thought, God, you know, when I really think about it, because I've talked in previous streams about the possible Legends games and what would make good Legends games. I did say that Gen 6 would make for a good Legends game. I did not think it'd be the second Legends game. I thought it'd be either Unova or Johto even. I think those made more sense. This to be the next one, I never would have expected. I do think, I mean, Kalos does make a lot of sense for Legends, don't get me wrong. It has a lot of history. Kalos is the most untapped potential game in the series. Like, there's so much history and so much... There's literally a Pokemon War talked about in... Oh, is that what we're going to be playing through? The war? I mean, I don't know, because it's Lumio City. I feel like Lumio City is like... If it's Lumio City, then... Like, this is going to be more recent, right? Is that going to be old-timey? It's kind of weird, no? Or is it not going to be, like, in the past this time? Because I thought that was going to be the idea, that we were going to be playing the Pokemon War. I'm trying to remember. The massive weapon that what's his name? AZ. That AZ used, that wasn't in Lumios. That was in some other town. I forget what it was called. X and Y areas are so unmemorable. Lumio City is like the only memorable place, so I'm glad that they used that for here, because I would never have been able to tell if they'd used any other town. Gonna keep playing. Oh, I'm so sorry. I thought I was at the end. Gotta watch this from the beginning. To be fair, it seemed like it'd be 19-ish, 1900s-ish. Like the war, and it's about rebuilding. Like after the war, and it's about rebuilding. Oh, that could be interesting. But I would have liked to play during the war. Gotta head out, see you. Yeah, thanks for hanging out. War is too good of an opportunity. It'd be weird if they didn't do that. True, I agree. All right, keep playing. I'll keep playing it. I'll analyze it afterwards. I thought that was the end. My bad. Not current timeline era. I mean, definitely not current. But like, it still looks like it doesn't look like it's as old as Legends Arceus, right? This is genius. I know I said I wouldn't pause. This is genius. Legend Z, bro. They gave us Pokemon Z as a Legends game. That's sick. That's actually a great idea. I cannot believe I'm saying this. Pokemon Company had a good idea. They missed out on Pokemon Z. Everybody got pissed. And honestly, it was a throw because Gen 6 as a whole just sucked ass because they didn't have a definitive version. But it always felt like it needed one. And now they have this. Now they have this. What is this? This symbol here. The little arch. Is that supposed to be the tower, Lumio's tower? Oh, it's like Hyperverse. I mean, let me tell you this, Turt. ZA? Oh yeah, I guess it is, isn't it? ZA. But then there's a minus sign. What is that? That's weird, huh? Legend Za. I hate that so much. Legend Za. I'd rather it just be Legend Z. Legend Za. What is it? Wow. That is a good curveball, I gotta say. I did not expect Legend Z. I was gonna say, please just play it for like another few seconds. Fine. Fine. You know the ADHD be like that. Megas! Well, it would have to be fair. That's not really that much of a reaction to me. They would need to bring back Megas for that. Is that what you wanted me to see? I guess that's fair. That was it, lol. I'm not surprised at all about that. I mean, yeah, that's gonna be a big part of the game, is Megas, right? Even though surprising to a lot of people, Hoenn is technically where Megas originated from. I mean, you know, Kalos is still the Mega Evolution region, right? They couldn't just do a Kalos game without Megas. That's fair. Megatees. Hoenn in the alternate timeline. But Hoenn in the... Okay, but Oros is still in the same timeline as X and Y, I'm pretty sure. I think? Wait, is that true? God, I don't know. The Pokemon timeline is so convoluted. Yeah, Oros is in the same time as... Yeah, so Oros was the origin in that timeline. But in one timeline, Megas never even existed. It's freaking weird. Oros is around the Mega timeline, yeah. This is genius, I gotta say. You know what? Okay, no, Turd, this is what I was gonna say. About this, and to everybody in chat. The reason why I'm actually a little bit hopeful for this game is because let's look at this trailer compared to... Hold on, let me open it off screen. Well, whatever. It doesn't matter. You can see Nico B. Nico B. Pokemon Legends Arceus first trailer. Alright, so this is the reason why I believe in this game. So you saw this, right? Like, quick review, right? Check me out. So we see this, right? This is all just like, you know, tease, right? This is all tease. This entire trailer is tease. It's all concept art. It's literally just concept art. Like, look at this. They did not put a bunch of you know, you remember that Raikou trailer that they had earlier for Pokemon Sleep? They didn't even do that for this. This is the most high quality part of this. I wonder if this is probably not gameplay footage, right? I mean, it's not gameplay footage, I know, but like, I wonder if these are like actual models that they're using. I guess it probably is, right? Because like, if we see Aegislash and Sylveon moving like that, that'd be sick. Either way, this is clearly not like actual gameplay, right? They're not showing the worlds. They're barely showing anything. That's it. It's mostly just concept art, right? And I guess maybe some of the models. Right? That was a good reveal. I actually think that's a genius reveal. And it says 2025, greatest news I've ever seen. They have at least hopefully at least a full year. Because if it's 2025, they cannot release it in December, right? So they're not going to rush it for the December release. What are they aiming for? If they're aiming for summer of next year, that'd be amazing. That'd be amazing. That'd be enough time. Or what if they aim for December 2 Decembers from now? Now that'd be fire. 2025 December? Yo, that would be fire. Hold up. Silence, welcome to the stream. We just watched the Pokemon Direct. Probably February 2025. That was when PLA was released. Was it? That makes sense then, unfortunately. Little bit of a scary time slot, but it is still a year. That's more than Legends got, right? I think Legends had like 8 months. But most importantly about Arceus.
This is a tale from a long, long time ago, when the Sinnoh region was still only
Now,
a
I will
vast
say, this trailer is
wilderness.
great. I remember this trailer and being like, whoa.
A certain village bustled with the comings and goings of people, while in the mountains and seas, Pokemon
This
roamed
is such
as
a
they
good
pleased.
trailer. But it's not until they get to that. Look, this isn't. Look, this is when it gets bad. Right here. First reveal trailer, they show gameplay. This was the problem. They showed us gameplay. And ever since I saw this, I knew this game was going to look like this. It was not going to improve past this point. Especially not in the short time frame that they had. Granted, God, I love this game. God, I love this game, bruh. Maybe I gotta play Legends Arceus to hype up Legends Z, bruh. Oh my God, I love this game. Look at that! This is my problem, bruh. Why did they show that? I go on a tangent now, but bro, why did they show this? They did not show this in this new one. The 2 FPS Chingling, bro. Why did they show this? Okay, that animation looked fire, though. Look at the Badoo, bro. It's so bad FPS. It's funny, though, because I look at this now, and this is nothing compared to Scarlet and Violet. Scarlet and Violet was way worse. Yeah, what a weird starter selection. I wonder what the starters will be for Z. Anyway, you get the point, right? Legends are... I mean, that was still a good trailer besides the gameplay. They showed gameplay, and... God, what was the release date? It said early 2020... Okay, here's my argument, Abby. They say early 2022 here, right? Don't you think that they would say early 2025 if they were aiming for February? Know what I'm saying? Maybe. So maybe it's mid 2025? Possibly? No, your guess is very valid. Your guess is very valid. I'm just saying. Listen, this is wishful thinking. I'm not even saying that they wouldn't do February. I'm just hoping that they don't do February. I want as much time in the oven as possible for this new game, bro.
Only possible digitally. New efforts in the...
I want as much time in the oven as possible. But, like, to me, again, because we did not see actual gameplay in here, I have some faith. I do. And you know what? Even though Legends Arceus looked as bad as it did, FPS was still really bad, it was still a phenomenal game. So, if this game even looks twice as good as Legends Arceus, I'd be more than satisfied. And obviously, same gameplay. It's going to be the same gameplay. I'm not worried about that. I don't see how not seeing gameplay says anything. It just means you don't have info. It's good because then they're not... It's kind of hard to explain, Turt. It's good because they should not show gameplay. We know damn well that they have not actually... Like, they don't... What they have right now is nothing. Alright? They might have some models. They might have some concept art. They don't have anything. I'm glad they don't have anything, because I know damn well they don't have anything. At least not worth showing. Do not show me caca and expect caca this whole time. You know what I mean? That spinning icon thing? Isn't that a bad sign for the time they have left before the release? Like, I get what you're saying, but listen, man. Listen, man. I'm just explaining why I have hope. Because if I saw the frickin' FPS Chingling again, I would have been pissed. I would have been pissed. Bro, I want improvements, man. I don't want to see the FPS Chingling trying to save you. Listen, let me have hope. I'm still hoping for the day where Pokemon can release a good game, alright? I'm still waiting for the day, bruh. I've always said the last time Pokemon released a game, a world-changing game, was Red and Blue. That was the last time they released a game that was insane. It was insane developmentally. And from a technical standpoint. Bro, well, to be fair, no matter what, this is not going to be a technical marvel, obviously. What are the chances that this is... Did they say this is releasing on Switch? Yeah, they did. Alright, to be fair, never mind. I was going to say, what if they Switch 2? No, this is probably like end of lifespan Switch, I would bet. And maybe it'll get ported to Switch 2. I don't know when Switch 2 is planned, but I would imagine it's 2025. The early 2022 argument is interesting. Right, okay. Now, you could at least agree with me there, Turt, right? The fact that at least it's not 2024. No, Turt, let me give you some context here. When did we receive this? February 26th. What? Is that when this trailer was released? I don't even know. Or was this yesterday? Wait. Oh, wait, no, 2021. I kind of wish it was 2026 as well. I agree. But listen, you have to understand. They revealed this game. I remember this vividly. They revealed this game, and it came out like 8 months later. All right? This is it. We're getting at least a year, bruh. We're going to get at least a year. Okay? That's a big difference. BDSP and PLA were announced on Pokemon Day 2021. And that's the 26th? Is that right? We hope we get at least a year. Listen, man, they didn't say early 2020, 2025. Listen, I know I'm coping. Let me cope, bruh. Let me cope. Okay? Listen, I still want to believe. And listen, alright? I can believe in the Legends team because they still made a great game. I don't care. Again, the only issue with Legends Arceus was its graphics and its world design. World design's a little bit different from graphics. Its world was honestly pretty bland as well. I talked about this in an earlier stream. Every single Pokemon game before X and Y actually had a really good world design. Even in a 2D space, all the areas are super memorable. And like you could really recognize all the area. It's not just nostalgia talking. I went kind of deep into it. You could really tell all the interesting world design decisions of older games. But here, it's a lot of blandness, I will say. It's just a bunch of whatever. This is the only relevant area, and maybe Mount Coronet. But even then, Mount Coronet, I actually think Mount Coronet is more interesting in Diamond and Pearl, of all things, than it is in Legends. At least from a design perspective. Like you're climbing up the mountain, quite literally. Here, it's just like a path, right, in Legends. Either way, the gameplay is fantastic. All right, the world design and graphics are really its only issues. I mean, this is what Pokemon gameplay we've prayed for ages. I mean, this is so sick, bro. Hopefully the Pokemon actually act like actual Pokemon though, instead of just standing around. I mean, standing around is fine. Bro, this freaking Chingling. I have nightmares of this Chingling, bro. We would probably never get Megas again, Dom. No, that's not true, Silence. I guess you didn't see it. Look, see. I mean, this was given to me. That they would bring back Megas. I don't think Pokemon Company was ever against bringing back Megas. I'm in an odd camp for that one. Maybe for main series games, but I mean, even in the spin-offs, they've brought Megas back. They had Megas in what is it? Super Mystery Dungeon. And even Explorers DX, they had Megas. I know that those are spin-offs, but, And listen, whether or not Legends is a spin-off or a main series game is still super up in the air. All right, they still introduce new Pokemon, so I think I finally came on to the realization that it's kind of a main series game. I don't know, it's complicated. It's a very complicated case. But either way, it makes sense that they bring Megas for the literal Kalos game. And that's hype. That's hype. I'm glad they are. Honestly, I mean, I don't know. I thought that was a given. If they didn't bring it, I'd be pissed. I'd be pissed. It is exciting to see him back, though. Yo, I'm going to get my Mega Amph back, my dragon baby. Yes, sir. I'm going to try to catch up on chat a little bit. This could be the drop for Switch 2. Yeah, no, I checked on that. No, it is not. But, I mean, you know, it could release both, right? Some Breath of the Wild type crap. Pokemon Go was world-changing, just not from Game Freak. True. Like how Zelda was the main release. Oh, yeah. Fantastic, but that it's not 2024. I just kind of wish it was 2026. I do agree. But you know what? I will say, if it's even mid 2025, I think that might be okay. I'm not saying it'd be a graphically marvel, no. But maybe it'll look as good as, like, I was going to say OG Breath of the Wild, but I don't think it's going to look that good. What's a good example of a game that it might look like? God, I don't know. Xenoblade 2? Probably not. Whatever, alright? It'll be better than Legends Arceus, bruh. That's all I'm saying. It's gonna be better than... It has more development time. Okay? And who knows? We don't even know. Maybe the team is bigger. Maybe they have both, because we, you know, it's already been confirmed, right? They had half of their team working on Scarlet and Violet, half the team working on Legends. What if the entire team's working on this game? Probably not. But what if, right? What if? I mean, that would, you know, that would be a lot. PSV and PLA were announced on 2021. The problem is that Pokemon does not invest a lot into their games for what they could. If you compare it to some other stuff, it's really cheap development. That's true. Maybe I could get some info from these models, right? On how they're... Because I actually do think these models might be gameplay. Or not gameplay, but like actual models that they use. To be fair, right? I feel like this Floette here... Maybe I'm nitpicking. This Floette does not look that bad. Like, this Floette is kind of similar to Chingling, right? In how it moves. If this is the model for Floette that they're using, I mean, it works, right? I don't know if this is an engine, though. No, it might not be engine, to be fair. Like, yeah, it probably is the model, but it could be run through a computer program. That's probably what it is, actually. Yeah, never mind, I'm tripping. I'm tripping. Listen, man. I want something here. Bro, remember the Gyarados from PLA, bro? They were so frame droppy. We get at least a year. I don't know what you said in the last 36 because of ads, rip. Yikers. Okay, but like, what if they're doing this, are we getting more new Megas? Ooh, good point, Dom. I do wonder if we'll get new Megas. That's an interesting idea. New Megas. I mean, hey, let me say, Zygarde got dick, alright? We needed something for Zygarde, so I'm so glad it's Z. God, what a weird decision that they gave Zygarde its final form in Sun and Moon. Why did they do that? Why did they do that? I 100% believe, to this day, that they were going to make a Pokemon Z. They were planning on making a Pokemon Z, because X and Y really feels like it was going to get a Pokemon Z. But then they just moved on. And then they put the designs for the Zygarde they had planned for Z in Sun and Moon. That's my honest-to-God prediction about what happened. So the fact that they're actually going back and giving us at least some sort of Z is great, you know? I mean, this is a really good... This is going to really prop up Kalos, right? I mean, Legends propped up Sinnoh a lot, you know? Even though its world design wasn't very good, Like, even the original Diamond Pearl Platinum had better areas than Legends in terms of memorability. But, I don't know, lore-wise and, like, story-wise, like, I think it definitely propped it up a lot. Legends Z will be set in the future, then it will definitely have more memorable locations. That's not necessarily true, Grease. It's not really about the time period that you're in that makes areas memorable. I said this about Emerald before, but, like, Emerald has so many memorable areas. Like, you go from this big town as the first town, then the second gym is on a beach, third town is on a seaside port town, and then Mauville City has New Mauville City and all that. You get the cycling road in between. Eventually, it's a whole town of tree houses. Bro, the treehouse town is sick. They have a whole town on the water. What is that, Pacific Log? And then they have the freaking town that you literally have to dive under, go through a cave, come back out, and now you're in a town. That's just good world design. It's interesting, right? I mean, to be fair, Emerald, when I really say it like that, Emerald might have the best world design in the series. They actually are such unique areas when I really think about it. But I mean, you know, like, that's how you're creative, you know? I think it's a lack of creativity with Legends Arceus. Like, and it's the same thing with Scarlet and Violet. Everything just feels very bland, right? There's not much creativity. I think the most creative area in Scarlet and Violet was the resort town in the desert. I do love that town. I think it's a really good looking town. The problem is that towns in Scarlet and Violet just suck. You can't go inside houses. There's no really memorable locales even within the towns. I just think the concept's good in Scarlet and Violet of that town. But that's really it, right? So that's what I'd really like to see. I'd like to see some interesting world design in this game. Because I actually think, honestly, if I had to pick between interesting areas and better frame rate, I pick interesting areas. I would. Because I could deal with the frame rate of Arceus. It wasn't that bad. It was not Scarlet and Violet bad, right? Like, I mean, okay, it was bad, considering it was a $60 game, yes, and a AAA company made it, right? But, like, listen, man, I played Scarlet and Violet, all right? Arceus is, like, is like a 10 out of 10 game compared to that, bruh. Probably never get Megas again. I think this will be set in the past, like 100 years ago, not ancient. Yeah, I agree, Abby, because that's like, it doesn't make any sense to have Lumiose Tower, like, in olden times, right? That doesn't make any sense. It's literally a futuristic, like, building. Unless this isn't actually the building and this is, like, a frame? Maybe? I don't know. It's still weird. It's definitely weird. End of Industrial Revolution or something like that. I'm going to say it might have 1.5 years to cook. I mean, that's not bad for Pokemon Company. Listen, man, we are used to having like 8 months of development time for these recent games. Like, that's double the time, basically. Granted, in a perfect world, it'd get Breath of the Wild development time, but we already can know that ain't happening with Pokemon. Listen, man, let me praise, alright? Even with bad development time, Legends Arceus is still a fantastic game. So if this has almost double the development time, in my eyes, it's going to be a banger of a game. Because it's only going to be better, right? Right? Fudge. But I guess they're not showing gameplay, so they're probably less far into development than they were with Legends Arceus. Which is probably true. But maybe not, right? Maybe they are, right now, the same level of progress as Legends Arceus. They just don't want to show any gameplay, because they know what happened the last time. Right? Maybe. Maybe. We just don't know. Because I'd agree with that decision. I would not want to show gameplay if it's all choppy with that Chingling. You know what I'm saying? So I haven't seen gameplay, which might indicate that they still have a lot to get done. They might, is the key word. What if they really are, and obviously there's a what if, but what if they are about the same level as Legends Arceus was? You know? What if? And they just didn't want to show it, which is completely fair. All right? If they don't have anything good to show, don't show it. What we saw in that Legends Arceus gameplay footage was not good. It was super frame droppy. So if it's the same case here, and they just decided, you know what? No, let's not show the gameplay yet. That's smart. You know. Granted, again, that is a what if scenario, right? But what if? You know what I'm saying? I'm a huge fan if they bring them back from main game. Yeah, I hope so too. I mean, my biggest thing for Megas is that it felt like they were real buffs to bad Pokemon, right? Like Sableye and Mawile and Kangaskhan. Like, and out of nowhere, they're really good Mons, right? I mean, that's a good buff, you know? I hope Legends becomes its own separate line. Okay, I wanted to say this, Abby. This is a good comment. I hope Legends becomes its own separate line of main games. I think it is. I think this is confirmation that it is. Because let me tell you, I actually would not have been surprised if they never released another Legends game. It would have been upsetting. I would have been sad. But without Cope, let's be real here, Legends Arceus could have easily been a one-time thing. It sold the least out of any main series Pokemon game, right? And it's still compared to main series Pokemon games. It has more development time than main series Pokemon games, I'm sure. The fact that they made a new one despite it selling so little, well, compared to other Pokemon games, I think that shows a lot. They want to actually make good games. That's the way I see it. I think Legends is Pokemon Company's foray into actually making good video games. And they're still going to have the main series to do the traditional Pokemon. But I think this is where they experiment. They're going to try to actually make good games. Like, more... I shouldn't say futuristic. More in due with the times games. Alright? I mean, I don't know, because Scarlet and Violet was still open world, so the next main series Pokemon game probably will still be open world. But I don't know. I don't know, man. Either way, from a gameplay perspective, Legends was... It was actually perfect. I know that... Well, no. I can't say it was perfect. It does have some issues. But, like... Man, compared to Pokemon's gameplay, bro... I was so disappointed in Scarlet and Violet when I saw how slow the game was. It's like we went right back to Sword and Shield, right? Like, it's like Arceus never happened. And I know that's because of development times, right? But, man, that hurt. You know, to go from the speed and fluidness of Legends into Scarlet and Violet. Man, that hurt, dude. But yeah, no, I think it is. Back to what I was saying. I think Legends is going to be its new series now. I will say, what makes this such a weird curveball is that it's not Johto or Unova. Right? Like, that's surprising. I mean, I'm glad. I'm very satisfied with Z. You know? And I'm just glad we're getting a Legends game in general. No matter what, they could have done Legends Sun and Moon. They could have done Legends Sword and Shield, and I still would have been hyped. Because I love the Legends gameplay style. Bro, no, that would have been a curveball. Legends Sword and Shield. That would have been out of nowhere. That would have been out of nowhere. Yeah, but I do think Z... Honestly, I think Z is the third thing I would have picked. It would have been. Like, I would have said it would go Johto, Unova, then Z, in terms of what I think is most realistic. They chose the third one, which is, damn, that's a curveball right there. And I'm glad. I really am glad. Because, again, Kalos needs this, bro. Kalos needs this. I don't even think Kalos is a bad region. I just think it was poorly represented, man, in X and Y. They needed Pokemon Z, and now we're getting it. That's why I'm saying I think I'd actually prefer better world design over better graphics. Because I want memorable areas. I don't even care that they look necessarily good. I just want them to be memorable. Right? I want to go here and be like, oh, that's such a creative area. Oh, this is so sick. I love this place. You know what I mean? Legends games are the best direction for for Mon games. Oh, 100%, bro. 100%. Okay, so yeah, the Twitter account called it Legends ZA. I hate that, bro. Legends ZA. Why couldn't it just be Legends Z, bro? Legends ZA. No! If it looks like Let's Go, that'd be... Oh, yeah! I mean, honestly, I'd be ecstatic if it looked like Let's Go. That's not very realistic, though, because it's still going to be an open area game, whereas Let's Go was top-down. But hey, if all the models and everything looked like Let's Go, hey, that'd be great. All right? Not like... Obviously not Breath of the Wild level by any means, but like, I'll take it. You know, that is a good-looking game. I'll keep on saying, Let's Go is the best-looking Pokemon game. I don't even like Let's Go, but I'll say it. It's the best-looking Pokemon game. It looks fluid. It looks shiny. It just looks good. All the Pokemon have pretty good models. It just looks good, right? So if this game looks anywhere near that good, great, right? And obviously, I'm assuming the gameplay is the exact same from Legends Arceus, because why would they change that, right? Hold on, let's actually move it to release date in 2025. Yes, sir, because this is the most important part. Let's Go. Looked really charming. It did. No, I actually really do think so. I think everything look-wise of Let's Go was really good. I just could not get behind the gameplay. I just couldn't. But the game's look, it's the best-looking Pokemon game. They have 3 internal teams. One was on Legends, one was on Scarlet and Violet. Third was like a small experimental team. But like if the Scarlet and Violet and Legends teams combined for this game, I mean, hell, that's like double the manpower right there. And listen, as much as I rag on Scarlet and Violet, it is still an open world game, right? Like they have some experience, the Scarlet and Violet team, making open world, not good experience though. Whatever, all right? They could still work on it. And again, it's not even fair because obviously Scarlet and Violet was back as a crunch, not necessarily bad experience. They have more experience now, so, you know, I think this will be a lot better. It's called ZA, then does that mean we're getting new legendaries for Xerneas, Yveltal, Zygarde trio? Oh! That's actually a good comment, Grease. Maybe. Because, you know, we got the alternate forms of Dialga, Palkia. Not Giratina, though. But we did get Dialga, Palkia. So we'll probably get new forms of Yveltal and Xerneas, but not Zygarde. To be fair, Zygarde has so many forms already. You know, probably going to end with the complete Zygarde form. Yo! The Zygarde boss fight's probably going to be sick. I will say, the Arceus boss fight in Aftergame of Arceus was awesome. That felt like a Dark Souls boss, bro. That crap was hard. I could say that now that I've played Bloodborne. Dude, don't judge the frame rate of yeah, I know that was a bad idea. Can't wait for them to announce a main series game. God, I'm behind. Release after this drops. I have amazing quality compared to Hot Dog Water. Yeah, true. A main series game right after this, so we have another amazing quality compared to Dog Water. To be fair, the Dog Water quality was still there in Arceus. We could just forgive it because of how much we loved the games, right? Well, because of how much we loved Arceus, right? I think we could all agree with that. It was the gameplay that made us love Arceus, right? It was a direction for Pokemon we've never seen before. It was completely unique, and it was genius. It was genius. They made half of Pokemon fun. The first half of Pokemon, which was catching Pokemon, I always thought was annoying as hell in main series games, and they made it fun. I have more fun catching Pokemon than I do actually battling in Arceus. It's a big deal. So you go to Scarlet and Violet, Pokemon Poop and Pokemon Caca. True. The Mega Flygon everyone has dreamed of. That'd be fire. That'd be really fire. I'd love to see a new Mega for all the pseudos, even though they don't need it, I know, but it's just weird that some pseudos have Megas and some don't, you know? We're getting the new starter Evos. Ooh, we're probably going to get... Oh, God, that's a weird one. You'd think that we would get 3 Mega starters, like 3 starters that can Mega. But, like, if they do that, then it's going to be really uneven, right? Because I assume that the starters are going to be like Legends Arceus. Maybe they won't get Megas then. Because that'd be so weird, right? Because they're picking from 3 completely different regions to take starters from, right? Like they did for Legends Arceus. Unless they just give us the regular Kalos starters again. Which is possible. I mean, we haven't seen the Kalos starters that much. That's an interesting point. Canceled Z, but put it in Gen 7, and only now they decide to go to Z since they saw the opportunity with Legends doing well. Okay, no, I'll stop you right there, Turt. Legends is not doing that well, all right? Legends Arceus did not sell that well compared to their other games. And I can tell you right now, Legends takes more development time than main series games. I'll say that in a heartbeat. I don't give a damn. And with someone with no development experience, I could only imagine the creativity and the gameplay of Legends Arceus took way more to develop than Scarlet and Violet did. And I know Scarlet and Violet was open world, but like, I don't know, man. Plan was to do that in Pokemon Z, but it got scrapped so early that they had to do it in the Sun and Moon. Yeah, I agree. Did you know Gaming did a good special on Pokemon Gray and Pokemon Z a while back? TBH, I don't care about memorability. I care about fun. If the area is fun, I'm Gucci. I agree. I mean, at the end of the day, it's not even about the memorability. It's about, like you said, it's about it being fun, right? To me, diving down into a cave and diving back up and seeing this secret, secluded town, that's fun to me, all right? It's not just that it's memorable. It's fun. It's a good idea, right? I don't know. And it encourages exploration. I want a bigger console than the Switch so you could have better hardware to work with. To be fair, listen, I'll say this right now. The Switch is not the issue with Legends Arceus. All right, we've gotten so many big games. And it's not just Breath of the Wild, all right? I'm not just talking about Breath of the Wild. There's so many good open world games on Switch. Switch is not the issue, all right? Switch can more than handle the game that they're trying to make, okay? 100%. And guess what? If they did have a higher quality system to work with, they probably still wouldn't reach the higher quality. If they were working on this game on PS5, it would not look any different. I'm telling you right now, it would not look any different. It'd look the same and probably have the same issues and the same frame rate drops. The Switch was never the issue. Switch 2 has been heavily rumored being announced later this year, to be fair. Being announced later this year, to be fair. Nostalgia dumping SMH. It's not really, I don't know. When I bring up the old areas, I don't think it's nostalgia talking. I really don't. I really do think that these areas are literally, because like literally, name a more unique set of areas in the newer games than those older games. I don't think you can. I really don't think you can. Because that's what makes them memorable, man. This will release onto it. At most, it may have a Switch to enhanced version. Yeah, that'd be nice. I kind of agree. I'm still worried that the hardware will still be limited a lot because of lacking space and cooling. I feel like Gen 1 are slowly fading away. We're getting Gen Woers and Gen 3ers like Connor. I definitely am a Gen 3er, I will say. But that's not really why I'm bringing it up. It's not because of nostalgia. It's because of just the world design was better. It really was. Like, I think from an objective standpoint, it just was better. It's just more unique. It's more not memorable because that's what I started with, but because they are good areas, right? Hell, I think Chargestone Cave is a great Gen 5 area too. I think that's probably the best looking cave Pokemon's ever had. And it's unique, right? Switch 2 has a better built upscaler in the dock too. Yeah, that'd be nice. They have NVIDIA chip in the current Switch. Having DLSS but on the dock would be sick. The only hope is that on Twitter, again, they announce it with, will launch on Nintendo Switch systems, though I don't think that'll include Switch 2. They won't announce it if it's coming to Switch 2. If the Switch 2 hasn't even been announced yet. True. Good point. My only argument for that, if it was only Switch 2, then they wouldn't even say Nintendo Switch on here. Like on the screen right here. If it was only Switch 2 and not even Nintendo Switch, then I would argue they probably wouldn't even... To be fair, they wouldn't announce it at all if it was Switch 2, right? Yeah, I don't know. That's kind of a moot point. Hopefully they announce something once it has been, but we'll have to wait and see. Development time means nothing nowadays. Look at Skull and Bones, 11 years for that. Also because the teams are staggered, they tend to have 3 years of development time. First trailer dub does not necessarily indicate development time. Three years of development time. I just mean from release, Abby. I know obviously they've been developed longer. They would not release this if they hadn't already started. Obviously. They're not putting this out there and now they're going to start developing. No, that'd be really, really stupid. I just meant like 1.5 years after the release, you know, trailer, right? The first, what's it called? Extra time post-announce will be telling. Like, they definitely have gameplay. They're just not showing us. 100% they have gameplay. All right? They would not show us this if they literally have nothing. They have gameplay. My theory is that it's as much as they had for Legends Arceus when it got announced. Somewhere around there. That's my theory. The game theory. I'm guessing that the next main trailer will be Switch 2 sometime later this year. And from the main game trailer, it will show releasing the Switch 1 too. I would assume they have had 4 years of dev time. I think Pokemon Company is the type of company that would need to drop a first trailer even if it's not ready. Oh, well, they will release a trailer. And, you know, until we see that trailer, we're not going to see how well it'll be. Nah, I disagree, TBH. I mean, they release unfinished games. And the yearly releases are because it needs to be timed with anime and TCG. They have such a big franchise, I don't think they need to announce or show too early. And I'm glad they have waited here. No, I agree. Okay, see, this is what I see. Okay, I mean, Turk kind of fell off the Pokemon series, so he doesn't understand what it means to be a Pokemon fan with these newer games. With these newer games, waiting is such a better sign. It's such a better sign than if they showed gameplay. That's why I'm hopeful. Because they did not show gameplay. I think they've learned, right? They've learned from Legends Arceus. They were like, you know what? No, we're not even going to show it. We're not going to show that Chingling. I'm going to keep bringing up that Chingling, bro. Just no, right? Just tell you what's happening. That's it. That's a great reveal. To me, this is a fantastic reveal, right? I think the only thing that could have made this better is if 2025 here, if this was 2026. That's the only way they could have made this better, is if they said 2026, which, to be fair, you know. Listen, man, we're getting about a year, at least. That's more than Legends Arceus, okay? And Legends Arceus is a great game. Hell, let's say the quality of Pokemon Z is the same as Legends Arceus. I'll still be happy. I'll still play it and I'll have a blast. Granted, from the fan perspective, yes, I'll be a little disappointed that it's not any better than Legends Arceus from a graphical standpoint or world design or whatever. To be fair, world design it's not just Legends Arceus. It's all the new Pokemon games. Even since X and Y, like, that's why so many areas are so unmemorable in that game. It's really just ever since Pokemon went 3D that they've struggled with world design. So it's not just Legends Arceus, to be fair. It wouldn't be fair to say that. So yeah, like if they fix the graphical issues, like that'd be great. And the frame rate. I get they need to maintain interest, which is hard. Yeah, for sure. Have Game Freak learned? Probably not, but let's hope. I mean, okay, listen. I'll have a little bit of hope. Because, like, I do think that they're learning a little bit. Listen, here's the reason why I think they're learning a little bit. The fact that this is happening at all shows me they're learning. Why would they release a new Legends game? Legends Arceus sold less than every main series Pokemon game. Why would they release another one? Why? Didn't Legends Arceus sell less than Black and White? Less than, Black and White was the least selling. No, Black 2, White 2 was the least selling. I think Black 2, White 2 might have sold more than Legends Arceus. And that sold really little for a Pokemon game. Why would they release another one? That's why I feel like they're learning. They saw the reviews of Legends Arceus and they said, you know what? People like this game. Let's make a new one. The fact that they're looking at the reviews instead of the sales numbers is insane, right? Am I wrong, chat? Like, I feel like that's a given. The fact that this is happening at all shows that they're learning. Now, if they released anything related to Black and White remakes or Gen... could you imagine Gen 10? Okay, that would be insane. Pokemon Company would never do that. But if they did, that would be not learning right there. I think the fact that this is released at all shows that they're at least learning a little bit. You know, a little bit. They actually made a new series that people love and doesn't sell as well, but you know what? I mean, it still sells good numbers compared to other video games. But like, when they could just create a new main, like, I keep saying main series. I know this is kind of main series. It's weird. Okay, it's weird. It's weird. Either way, it's not really a main series game. It's like its own line. I think the first trailer always was planned to come around this time, and it doesn't indicate development time that much. No, and it doesn't. It does not indicate development time. It doesn't. But I would imagine if they're... Listen, Pokemon Company is still a corporate company. I would think they would only make a trailer if they have an okay amount of gameplay already started. Right? If they have nothing, they would not release this trailer. They just wouldn't. Right? So I think they have something. They're just not showing us, which is great. Right? That's great. All I know is that I won't pre-order. I will. I'm not going to lie, I will. Because again, I at least believe, at bare minimum, this will be as good as Legends Arceus. I will put that out there. I will bank on it being at least as good as Arceus. And you know what? Arceus is still like my second favorite Pokemon game. That's good enough for me. Debatably my favorite Pokemon game. That's good enough for me. If they make one that's at least as good as that, hey, take my money. That's all I wanted to see. Maybe I'll consider not buying, because I want to see the Legend series prevail. You know, I do. This deserves money. Gen 10, we'll see. Man, I don't know, man. Whenever if Gen 10 is like in a similar boat as Scarlet and Violet, I will not buy it. I have to be strong for that. Imagine they skip over anything Gen 5. They're going to make Gen 5 remakes. In hindsight's 2020, it actually kind of makes sense that they did this instead of Black and White Legends. Because, like, Legends Arceus just doubled down on Sinnoh with BDSP. Like, BDSP and Legends Arceus released, like, a month after another, right? A month or two together. I think it makes sense that they do two different regions instead. Because, like, it's too comparable, right? Like, especially, man, God, that hurt. Comparing BDSP to Legends Arceus was, like, night and day. It was night and day. I know they're made by two different companies, but to somebody who bought both games, like, they're completely different experiences. Legends Scarlet and Violet. Legends Mystery Dungeon. I still cannot believe they didn't do Mystery Dungeon Sky. I mean, hey, I'm happy. I'm happy with this. Again, I'm just happy Legends is still a series, right? Again, please understand, Legends did not have to continue as a series. It just did not. All right? It did not. But they are, and I love that. Last big update to PLA was February 2022, so it's been at least 3 years since then for this team to have worked on this new game. That's true. They didn't even work on DLC for Legends Arceus. Not really. So, you know, maybe all of that time was put into this game. It's possible. It definitely is. Likely a good portion of the team started working on this game almost directly after PLA release, so 4 years given they were releasing. And 4 years is a good amount of time, right? I forget how much time Breath of the Wild had. I think it was 6 years. But I mean, you know, even getting half of Breath of the Wild this time, that'd be insane, right? Basing off my experience working with AAA, by the way, not out of thin air. That is good. Better than me. I am basing it off of thin air. I'm just using my own logic into it, you know? I don't actually know how it is, obviously. Y'all know that. I'm like y'all, all right? I'm just theorizing. Let me theory craft. Looking back, I really say, other than 1 to 2 boss fights, Palworld is the better Legends Arceus. That's maybe because I enjoy survival with base building. I mean, it probably is. I don't know. Listen. I still have yet to play Palworld. I don't know anything about that game. From what I can tell, it does not feel like it's a Pokemon game, though. Like, it has Pokemon, but not in a Pokemon gameplay way. Like, Legends Arceus felt like it was such a great evolution of Pokemon's gameplay, right? It was fast. It felt like, and, you know, it was still turn-based battles, but, like, it was unique, right? I don't know. I think it, like, to me, Legends Arceus was a great evolution for the series. And they went back, they took a step backwards with Scarlet and Violet, bruh. Legends Battle Revolution. Now, that's a classic. Shout out to Battle Revolution. By the way, guys, I don't mean to be negative, but I used to have trust in Game Freak, too, and I'm not repeating my mistake. Okay, listen. I only have faith for Legends, all right? I said the moment this trailer started, I said, I do not have high expectations. I just don't. The biggest game I expected out of this was Explorers the Sky, right? I still cannot believe they have not done NSO. That still blows my mind. What are they thinking, bro? Legends Cafe remix. I think it's wise to not trust Game Freak. I agree. They have given a lot of reasons to not trust them. I agree, but I don't know, man. I still have yet to be disappointed by Legends. I know it's only one game down the line, but I still have yet to be disappointed by Legends, all right? This is my last hope. This is my last hope. Okay, and I'm still not holding out hope that the game will look good. I'm just holding out hope that the game will be as good as Legends Arceus, right? At bare minimum. And I'm still going to have a blast with it if that's the case. I would buy it in a heartbeat if it was just as quality as Legends Arceus. I would. Nowadays, you barely can trust any developer team. That is kind of true. Publisher, sorry. We just do as we're told. That's true. Honestly, I think cartoony art style is the way to go for Pokemon. I think Sun and Moon looks really good, for instance. It leans into an art style rather than trying to look realistic. I actually agree. Before Let's Go, I always said Sun and Moon was the best looking Pokemon games. I think Sun and Moon are the best main series Pokemon games to this day. Let's Go is not main series. Because it has a different... I don't know. I mean, you could still argue Let's Go. Let's Go is kind of in a similar boat as Legends Arceus, to be fair, whether it's main series or not. Whatever, who cares? Either way, they're clearly different. Developers are the ones that shouldn't be blamed. Let's Go looks good too. Let's Go does look good. But yeah, like you said, it's a cartoony game. How far behind is Connor at the moment? Like 50 messages behind. BDSP had a cartoonish art style. I mean, Grease is not wrong. BDSP just looks bad, man. It just looks bad. Everything about BDSP is terrible, man. I've been debating on if I should make one of those like cringe like YouTube videos going over why I hate BDSP so much, like highly edited. Or I was going to talk about why Persona 3 Reload is a perfect remake, but BDSP isn't. Well, it's like completely different. Okay, well, no. I was going to make a... Hold on. For more context, I was going to say it was going to be a video on Persona 3 Reload. Maybe I'd bring up a bad remake as an example for one point for like a minute of conversation. Like, compare this to this, you know? Like a remake that's trying to be faithful to a fault compared to a remake that tries to improve everything, right? I mean, Pokemon used to make remakes that only improved on everything, but BDSP was too faithful. Right? That's my biggest issue. It's faithful to a fault, you know? It did not improve, like, anything. Except for maybe the single-player experience of the Underground. But guess what? Like, I don't know, man. Multiplayer's not as good. at the moment. Let's see what time it is when he reaches this message. Damn! I'm 20 minutes late, Lamau. I liked how BDSP looked. You're crazy, Abby. I don't know. Listen. It's all opinion, right? You're entitled to your wrong opinion. You're entitled to your wrong opinion, bro. Bro, I hate how BDSP looks. But again, that's not my issue with BDSP. My issues with BDSP are way deeper than how it looks. Open a vote when he catches up. Hey, this is still a good conversation. Silence. I was later than the time. Not 41. I'm at 49. Yes, sir. That's a good bet. Okay, maybe not Legends doing well, but rather the concept is good. The concept is good. It definitely is. On what engine is there stuff working on anyway? Do we know? The first entry in a series always takes more dev time. That's true. Abby's actually right. Honestly, if anything, that gives me more hope for this. Because, of course, Legends was completely unique for the series. So now they have a framework to work on, right? Logically, it should only be quicker to for the development. And yet we still have a longer time period since the initial release, right? Like, look at this. We have, okay, let's just, as a baseline, let's say it takes a year and a half, right? Since its release date today. Or for the trailer, I should say. Release trailer, whatever the frick, right? We have almost double the time before the original trailer release than Legends Arceus. We actually have a framework for how the series is. Theoretically, the Pokemon Company might be listening to the complaints of Scarlet and Violet and Legends Arceus while they're developing it, right? So we might get a lot of quality of life stuff. It's just going to be quicker. Who knows? Maybe this game will actually be open world. Maybe. I would not be against it being open area, though. I really wouldn't. I still think Legends Arceus is a great game, despite it not really being open world. I don't think it needs to be open world, but that'd be cool if it was. I just hope it's not Scarlet and Violet. Know what I mean? If they had more to build from. That's actually a really good point. Of course it'd be quicker development with, because they have a framework, right? And they have more time on top of that. I don't know, man. That's some hope right there. I feel like that's some pretty logical hope, right? They work on all in-house engines, so probably built it from the same stuff Scarlet and Violet and PLA use. So that's just more developed. Like, they have a head start, right? More than handle is a stretch. If they're working on this game on PS2, it would look the same. Disagree on the PS5 point. PS5 is in such leagues above the 7-year-old Switch hardware that it would definitely look better, as there's so much more headroom. Well, I just mean, like, I think it's the game. It's not the console that makes its frames so bad, right? I think it was just poor optimization on the game's part. Like, I've seen plenty of games run on PS5 that are old games that still lag like crazy. I've played some of them because, you know, I got the whole PlayStation deal thing. I'm just saying, if they ported the game directly onto PS5, it would not run any differently. Obviously, if you build it around that console, then yes. But I'm just saying, like, let's say it was a direct port somehow, even though it doesn't make any sense, but, like, you get my point. I don't think it would run any differently. Pokemon games definitely had way better map design. Way better. And I'm saying way better. To be fair, when I really talk about Emerald really might just have the best world design in the series. Because, God, it's crazy how many unique areas there are in Emerald. Not even just towns, but routes, too. Bro. So many unique towns, though. Oh, my God. I mean, you know, I still really like Mount Coronet. I like how it juts through the entire region. I like the whole route up to Snow Point. It's memorable. It's unique. Black and White had like Chargestone Cave. The Dream area. I mean, I don't know. I still remember all the town names, though. I'm just trying to remember, like, areas in Black and White or Platinum that, like, were really unique. It's definitely harder to think of areas that are comparable to Emerald, though. Those areas are just so unique. It's crazy. And, you know, this is coming from somebody who, Black and White, you know, Gen 5 is my favorite generation, so when I say that it's worse, you know, that's kind of crazy, right? I mean, they're definitely still way more memorable than 3D games, but I'm trying to think of areas that are even comparable to Emerald, and I don't think it's possible. God, he is so far back. Hell, Scarlet and Violet would probably run buttery smooth as is on PS5, so why wouldn't they make it look better? Is that real? I mean, listen, Abby would know way better than me. Abby would know way better than me, so I guess I'm just wrong. I guess I just must be wrong. Really? So, like, if Scarlet and Violet was just flat out ported on PS5, it would just run perfect? It would just run perfect. No frame drops. Is that really how that works? Because, again, I'm comparing it from a logical standpoint. Comparing it to hundreds of different other open world games on the Switch that look way better and run way better with no frame drops. Like, I don't know. Maybe saying no frame drops is a little bit I don't know. Def Not Nostalgia. Yeah, I really don't think it is. We have a test message coming up to calc how far behind he is. Don't worry. It would be at most... Hey, I'm not worried about being behind, all right? I have a lot more stuff to talk about, right? And that's what we like. We like the later manner debate streams, right? It would at most be a Switch and Switch 2 game. Hell, it could even be a Switch 2 enhanced game, which runs with better frame rate. Kappa. But do you know what's good about this? They're waiting with the next mainline game and not going on with the 3-year schedule. I mean, they're not going to make a new... They were never going to release Gen 10, obviously. That would have been stupid. No. Black and White was kind of possible, and I was worried about it, but I'm glad that they didn't. I'm really glad that they didn't. I really hope Black and White remakes are not being made by Ilka. God, I don't know how they're going to handle Black 2 White 2, man. They really might just scrap Black 2 White 2 on some Mario Galaxy 2 crap. Like, realistically, how would they include the Black 2 White 2 content into a Black and White remake? It doesn't make any sense. I guess maybe they could come up with a way to put PWT in. Maybe. But, I mean, you know, obviously the story stuff wouldn't. I really don't know how they do it. I really just don't know. Unless they have 2 separate remakes. Because they're different games. You know? You can't just release one game that includes everything. I think your estimate for catch-up time is going to be a bit off. Pokemon franchise makes so much money, it really doesn't matter if they develop 20 more games at the same time. Add another 10 minutes. Pfft. I was coping myself. If we chat too much, he will end the stream before finishing messages. No, I'll always finish all the messages. Nowhere, no, can't refer to PLA as Legends. I love PLA so much that I will happily risk pre-ordering it. Yeah, I would too. I said the same thing. I would happily. Because again, I have yet to be disappointed by Legends. Again, I'm only saying the problems about Legends Arceus in a vacuum. Like, with, you know, I'm trying to be at least a little objective. But if we're talking about how much I love the game, again, Legends Arceus was my favorite Pokemon game for a while. Like, I don't know. I do see the issues. I see the world design issues. I see the graphics. I see the frame rate drops, but I don't care because it's the most fun gameplay-wise I've ever had in the Pokemon series. At least gameplay-wise, it's 100% my favorite. Bird's out on every single pre-order I've made in the past 3 years, but I'm a creature of habit, not knowledge. Yeah, and you know what? Habitually, Legends. I listen, man. Until Legends disappoints me, I have no reason to be disappointed, right? Let's just cancel the Pokemon title out of here. Let's say Legends was the only title for some reason, bro. I have a 100% success rate with buying Legends. That's all I'm saying. Sad for not having hope, or if anyone else is sad. Well, Turt, honestly, you probably haven't even played Legends Arceus. Honestly, I recommend playing it. It's a great experience. If you played, especially if you've played like Platinum or Diamond and Pearl as a kid, I think you'll love Legends Arceus, and I recommend you play it. Yes, there are some graphical stuff, but it's not nearly as bad as Scarlet and Violet on that department, and its gameplay is the most fun Pokemon has ever been. I recommend trying it out. I really, really do. I really, 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 really do. It also has the sickest Pokemon boss battle in all time with that Volo fight. Bro, that fight is so sick. I'll always say that fight is so sick. Fair enough. I went through the same phase of lack of hope with Sun and Moon Sword and Shield to be just pretty far for the course. And I agree. But when Legends Arceus came out, I had hope again for Scarlet and Violet. I did. In fact, you can actually scroll through my TikTok if you really want to see a more hopeful Connor. I was saying I made a video, 3 things I'm super excited about for Scarlet and Violet. And like, I talked about I talked about 3 huge things about how much I was excited for Scarlet and Violet before it came out. And then it came out, and then I had a lot of negatives about it. I still enjoyed the game, but like, you know, looking at it from afar, goddamn, man, it hurts. I ended up being really surprised with Sword and Shield, and it made me really start to enjoy the mainline games again. I haven't bought a Pokemon game since Sword and Shield, and it's my least favorite Pokemon game least favorite game of all time. Yeah, me and Abby have very vast, different opinions about Sword and Shield. I think Sword and Shield is one of the most bland Pokemon games we've ever had. Like, at least the reason why I'd say Scarlet and Violet's better than Sword and Shield is because, at least Scarlet and Violet has an identity. It really feels like Sword and Shield is just so bland. Like, yes, I think Sword and Shield is technically a more polished game. But, like, I'd rather take fun over polish, right? I don't know. Because there's still fun to be had in Scarlet and Violet. I don't see the fun in Sword and Shield. I don't see the creativity. It just feels very bland. But that's just for me, you know. Obviously, everybody sees different things when they play a game. And I know a lot of people that enjoyed Sword and Shield, so I can't say that that's a, you know, that's like a guarantee. And I don't even think Sword and Shield are bad games, really. I just think they're bland. BDSP is a bad game. I will die on that hill. Anybody who says BDSP is a good game, you're wrong. And I still think Sword and Shield has good things about it. You know, introducing the wild area was a huge thing for Pokemon, right? I still think the wild area is a great idea. Bought a Pokemon game, even though it was implemented kind of but you know. I enjoyed Sword and Shield a lot, but part of that was that I was playing with 3-4 other people. I agree. Playing with other people is what made me enjoy Scarlet and Violet so much too. Something as a group can enhance it, even the worst. Yeah, Pokemon, I think every Pokemon game is more fun played as a group, especially main series, because, you know, Pokemon is, admittedly, that's one of its best parts, is being able to trade and battle with your friends. It always has been, right? We need a new time prediction. Lamau. I say that after completing the decks and everything. New time check. 43 here. I'm still... at least I'm keeping consistent. I'm 20 minutes above that. At least I'm keeping consistent with my rants, right? Played the whole game and only then realized it's trash and I hate it. I never recovered. That was me in BDSP. I was trying so hard to enjoy BDSP the entire time. I was like, oh yeah, I remember this. Basically, my entire BDSP playthrough was me smoking all types of copium, being like, yeah, nostalgic, woo. But I just knew the game was so bad. It was so bad. The entire time, like, I was having such a bad time. And, like, eventually, like, I was trying to beat it so bad because I've never, to that point, when I played BSP, I had never not beaten a Pokemon game, right? And I was like, you know what? I got to get to the Elite Four because it's the one part of the game that everybody hypes up. The Elite Four and Cynthia battle are the only good parts of the game. That's what everybody says online. And then Andrea has to tell me, after I say that, she's like, why are you playing a game you hate just to get to one good point? Aren't there like a million other games you could play? And I was like, you're right. So then I gave up when I was like in the middle of the Team Galactic stuff. Lamau Wall. I'm going to go do homework now. I should have already started. Lamau. Imagine not listening to Laterman or rant for a million hours. To be fair, maybe I make Pal World better than it is because multiplayer as well. It seems like it'd be a good multiplayer game. Especially Arceus itself. Yeah, that's the thing with Arceus. I think that's the biggest difference between Arceus and main series, is that Arceus is a single-player game through and through. Arceus does have trading, but you can't even battle with your friends in Arceus. Arceus, they made with single-player in mind. They wanted to make a good experience. Scarlet and Violet still had a huge preface on multiplayer. And guess what? The game is more fun in multiplayer. Legends Arceus I played the entire time by myself. And I had a blast. I had a blast playing a Pokemon game by myself. That's insane. When I really think about it like that, that's insane. ROM hacks and fan games and everything. I cannot play Pokemon by myself. I get bored. I hate it. That's why I stream Pokemon. I hate playing Pokemon games by myself. It gets boring. It's grindy. It's not fun. I can always cheat in a Nuzlocke and not be punished for it. Like, I need to be watched or be doing or playing with friends. Legends Arceus, I played to completion, 100%ed the game, 100%ed the decks, did everything in that game, all by myself. Nobody watching. I did not stream that game. Bro, that actually blows my mind. I'm just now thinking about it. For me, that's a big deal. Pokemon is the only game series I cannot play by myself. 22-minute delay. Hey, like I said, I'm keeping consistent. I still think he ends stream before he gets to the end of chat. No, I'm going to get to the end of chat. Don't test me. Technically, he skipped past my message and read it after, so it's actually 24-minute delay. The issue with BDSP is that Platinum is a better Diamond and Pearl remake than BDSP is. I mean, yeah, that's a big part of it, but it's more than even just that. I could make a whole freaking hour-long video about all the problems with BDSP. And they're not really even nitpicks is the thing. Like, I can think of a bunch of different nitpicks about BDSP, but those aren't my real issues. Like, it's all just, like, stuff about it, being faithful to a fault. Like, that's what I would title the YouTube video if I ever made one. It'd be BDSP is faithful to a fault. Something like that. It's too faithful. It's like a remake should... You make a remake as an improvement, right? Because the game's outdated. So why are you making an outdated game the same outdatedness? There's very few revisions in BDSP. Like, yes, you have the fairy type. Yes, you have new moves. But at its core, it's still the exact same game. It even has all the same bugs. It's weird that it has the same bugs, right? It has the exact same mystery zone. Like, if you go out of bounds. It's odd. It's really odd. I don't even know why it's the same. Being the second game is definitely a good one. There's probably more time. Yeah, that's a really good point that Abby made, I will say. It's a good point, Turt. Yeah, I didn't even think about it, but it's the second game. They're working off something now. This is a big deal. This is going to be, like, again, at bare minimum, if it's as good as Arceus, I'm happy. All right? And then, you know what? Logic points to that it's going to be better than Legends Arceus. That's all I'm saying. And again, as a world, I still think Kalos has a lot of potential. So, like, they could really improve Kalos. They really could. I doubt they or ILCA will ever do a faithful remake of a Mon game again. When they ever get around to doing Black and White, I assume they'll tie in some of the changes from Black White 2 and improve it to avoid the PR backslash from BDSP. It's just weird. For the Black 2, White 2 stuff, like, are we just done with Black 2, White 2? Because it's an entirely different story. It's a sequel. It is a literal Pokemon sequel. It's just weird. How do they go about it? Are they going to leave it in the dust? I feel like that's what's going to happen. They're going to leave it in the dust. Which is kind of a shame, because I like Black 2, White 2. You know, it's my favorite Pokemon game. And, you know, if they're going to continue being faithful, who am I to believe that they'll actually bring PWT back? They've done this a million times since Oras. Oras didn't include Battle Frontier, because it wasn't in Ruby and Sapphire. It was only in Emerald. So why would they include it here? They didn't include Battle Frontier and BDSP, because it was only in Platinum. We're faithful here, so we're only going to include the after-game stuff from Diamond and Pearl. It's so stupid. Meanwhile, Heart Gold Soul Silver, a Johto game remake, decided to have all of the same after-game stuff as Platinum. Why? Because they knew it would make a better game. They don't give a damn that it's not faithful. Whatever, man. I'm going on a huge rant. My point is, yes. Yes. Okay, but, like, imagine Legends Celebi. I still think that they could. I mean, hell, again, Legends is now a series. This is now a series. They could still do it. They could still do Legends Celebi. They could still do Legends Unova. I mean, they have to, right? If this is going to be a new series, they're going to go back to all the regions eventually. Okay, unironically, I think Legends Kanto could be good. Because, like, when you really... There's a lot of lore behind Kanto, right? Like, the Mewtwo stuff. Okay, maybe not as good as Celebi or Unova. But, like, I don't know. It could still work, is my point. Right? Maybe that's a bit cap for me to say that it'd be as good as the other ones. But I don't know. They can make it work. Also, new Persona 6 leaks. Oh, really? Damn. Probably 2026, set in high school again, new engine. Well, obviously it's going to be in high school again. And more leaks that confirm the answer was DLC for Oh my god! Get ready for more Persona 3 reload streams. Yes, sir! It'll never end. Yes, sir! To be fair, the answer is going to be like 20 to 30 hours. It's not going to be another 120-hour experience. Most people assumed it was going to be Legends Celebi. Yeah, I mean, I did. I did not expect Z. I'll say it. Z is the third Legends game I expected. Not this. It was a good curveball, I gotta say. I was not ready for that. And I respect it. Because, again, I think Kalos needs this. Like, if they're going to up a region, I think Kalos needs it more than any region ever. Hell, a lot of people still loved Sinnoh even before Legends Arceus came out. Like, Kalos is the most underutilized region. It just is. What I really need is Legends Metapod. Yes, sir. Legends Metapod, Legends Kakuna. Yes, sir. Those are the Kanto Legends games. Legends Ditto. I'd pre-order. I'm surprised we got Legends Z before Legends Mew. I mean, we do have a lot of Kanto games, to be fair. I actually think Kanto might be one of the last ones they do. Could you... Now, that would actually be kind of sick. Legends Kanto is the last Legends game we get in the series. That'd be kind of fire, right? It ends with where it began? That'd be kind of fire, no? And that's like the... That'd actually be kind of cool, I feel like. As long as we don't get Legends Pika. I mean, it'd probably be Legends Mewtwo, right? All be based around Mewtwo and his creation. Or hell, it'd probably be Legends Mew. No, it'd be Legends Mew, yeah. Because that's the mythical. No, it'd definitely be Legends Mew. Maybe DNC and Volcanion will actually be relevant for once. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's Pokemon like that that really make you realize, yeah, X and Y was not finished. Well, it's not even that X and Y wasn't finished because it was. It's that X and Y was going to get a second version. It just was. We all know. It's so obvious. Legends Manor set in the current time period 5,000 before he reads this message. True. Legends Porygon. Hey, listen, man. Y'all are still watching the stream, all right? So clearly I'm doing something right with all my debates. Imagine if the Switch had PS5 specs. Could you imagine? Okay, on the optimization point, people have emulated Scarlet Valley on PSC and it runs PC and runs buttery smooth. The issue with optimization is the devs have to optimize a game for its platform. Increasing the hardware will always make a game run better. With Scarlet and Violet, they have not optimized the game well enough for it to run on Switch. So yes, it would run better on better hardware, but that doesn't excuse the fact that it runs like ass on the hardware it was built for. I see. Okay. Okay, so... Okay. I understand. So I was a little wrong, but I was like half right and half wrong with my argument. What I was right about is that it's not really the Switch's fault. Alright? It's still the developer's fault. My real aggravation with that point is the fact that people will blame the Nintendo Switch for it running like hot ass. No, alright? You build the game for the console you're putting it on. Alright? The Switch is more than capable of handling it. That's not the problem. The Switch is not the problem. It's the developers or whoever, you know, or crunch time or whatever the issue is. That's the issue. It's not the Switch's fault. That was my main argument. But yeah, I didn't know that. I thought, I guess it makes sense when I think about it, because you're right. I have seen people run Scarlet and Violet and other games on PC and it does run better. But I thought they like changed the game a little bit to make that work. But I don't know. They're going to release Gen 10, obviously. I wouldn't say obviously. I really wouldn't put it past them. No, Turt, they were never going to release. Listen, Gen 10 was never happening. Turt, there is at least some logic to Pokemon. Even when they released Scarlet and Violet, it made sense. All right? Look at the timeline. It's so obvious. Pokemon releases a new generation like every 4 or 5 years. That's how it's been. Like, since the beginning of Pokemon. It is flat out been not long enough since Scarlet and Violet. They will not release a new Gen 10 until enough time has passed. Wait, do I have the time difference correct on that? I think it's 5 years, something like that. That was never happening. Black and White was possible, not Gen 5. I mean, Gen 5, Gen 10. It was never happening. Pokemon Company, at the very least, all right, you could say all their issues. They are consistent, all right? Not in a good way, but they are consistent, okay? They always release their next generation around the same time period. Like, time difference, I should say. So far behind on chat that I legitimately think I have to leave before he catches up. I would add some weird half-post game for Black and White remakes that vaguely covers the areas and plot points of Black and White 2. I guess that makes sense, but it's just weird, man. It's just weird. Good night, I guess. I'll make sure to wake up in the morning and catch that stream right before you read the good night message. Good night, Tarot. Yeah, have a good night. Be impossible to do in the same game otherwise. A bit like the Delta episode, I guess. It's just weird. It wouldn't be the same. I mean, unless, like, the game goes to, like, an extent of, like, oh, yeah, 2 years later. Because it's literally a 2-year time gap between Black and White and Black and White 2. Like, in plot. It's just odd. PWT is not going to be in Black and White remakes, bro. Like, I'm not going to cope at all. It just won't be. It's a shame because it's my favorite battle facility by far. It has so much fan service. They are not going to include 3D models of every single Elite Four. I mean, every single champion, every single gym leader. They just won't. All right? It's too much effort. And guess what? It wasn't in Black and White. Maybe you should work on a newer remake and rendition for Black and White. Abby, true. Might be nothing, but Za could be interpreted as Zera area. If you really wanted to think out of the box. I don't know what that means. I'm sorry, Abby, I'm dumb. And they hinted at Area Zero being made during the Kalos War stuff. Did they? Hold on, that's a theory. Huh. I can see that. That's interesting. Wow. Okay. I like that, actually. Not sure I would want to work on an official Pokemon game unless I had full creative control, which you wouldn't. You wouldn't. You definitely would not. Nobody gets full creative control with Pokemon. I don't think there's a single developer in there that gets full creative control. It's all about corporate, right? Granted, I think Legends is different, right? I was just talking about main series. Legends is different, man. I think they really do have a lot more control. It feels really unique. So some people making that connection that ZA, it's just AZ. Oh my god! Of course! AZ, which is why we will still get post-war game story. Yo, Dom out here with the AZ theory. Dude, you're so right. ZA, AZ. Yo, what if... Wait a minute. How old was AZ? AZ is gonna be in this game, isn't he? Isn't AZ, like, in the meme? Wasn't he like, it's been... How many years? 600 years? What's the meme? AZ is like 3,000 years old. He's gonna be in this game! Wait, that's actually fire! Wait, that's so cool. AZ is gonna be in this game, bruh. A younger AZ, bruh. That's actually fire. Wait, that's actually so cool. I love that. AZ is gonna be in this game. Yo. AZ's gonna be in this game 100 million%. I'll put my life on that, bruh. AZ will be in this game. It's not gonna be an ancestor, it'll just be AZ. And the title is literally, wow, that's a good connection too. ZA and AZ? What if this is just like AZ's story? What if you play as AZ? Now that would be crazy! What if you play as AZ? No, I doubt it. They wouldn't do that. They would not. Pokemon Company is not that baller to actually make you play as a legitimate character. That would be... Oh my god. I do not trust any type of Pokemon Company to do something that compelling. That would be hella compelling, though. You're playing as AZ, bruh. Oh my god. It would kind of make sense, though, because, again, the title is ZA, AZ, right? Listen, if you play as AZ, I'm just saying, bro. Hard predict by later manner. That's not going to happen. They're going to make you play as another, you know, silent protagonist again, I'm sure. Well, I mean, AZ could still be a silent protagonist. I don't know, man. It's not going to happen, but it'd be cool. Who knows the reason they... who knows? The reason they showed Mega could be because the game we will experience making the whole Mega Evolution process. Yeah, it probably will be. Like, from a... Because even though Megas started in Oras, I think the idea is that... Well, like, even then... I mean, no, this is going to be before Oras. Yeah, this is going to happen before Oras. Like, in the timeline. Right? So, yeah, this is, like, actually the full-on start of Mega Evolution. Right? Probably. That's cool. Sun and Moon was that game I hated and gave up on. Worst game in the franchise for me, IMO. I think Sun and Moon still had a lot of good benefit. I always said that Sun and Moon was a good... It was the only Pokemon game that felt like a good RPG, but it was not a good Pokemon game. Like, it felt like a pretty good JRPG to me, because, like, it had, like, actual good characters. It had a great... I will say, Sun and Moon actually had good world design when I really think about it. They had memorable areas. Vast Pony Canyon's sick. The mall with the Mimikyu was honestly really cool looking. I really love Vast Pony Canyon. That's actually my favorite, like, cavern-like area in the series. There's a lot of good secret areas in Sun and Moon, actually. The one that you, like, go in a pathway in the first island. There's a lot of, like, secret areas you can only access after you get different ride Pokemon. Actually, yes, Sun and Moon was really good, man. Really good games. They're not good Pokemon games. They're good games. So, honestly, I could agree with the point, worst game in the franchise, because... It probably is the worst Pokemon game. It's just a good game. Like, it's hard to compare it to other Pokemon games because it's easily the least replayable. And it's slow and yada, yada, yada. That one I didn't mind, though. I think it was mainly because of the characters and Mons that was released for that gen. Everything else is kind of eh. I even avoided all the teases and spoilers for Sun and Moon because I wanted to go in blind and build hype. That didn't work at all. They should just hire Abby and other ROM... Oh, yeah. If they, like, put ROM hack creators into the development team, it'd be over. We'd have great games. Pay them good and let them cook. Let me publish Rogue, please. Okay, thanks, bye. I'd pre-order. I mean, definitely. Are you kidding me? Like a actual Rogue release, bro? I've already said a million times, the one thing Rogue doesn't have is that it's an actual Pokemon game. Like, that's its only negative, is that I can't talk about this game with people at work. It's still a ROM hack. It's still niche, right? I mean, it's popular in the ROM hacking sphere, but it's not a real Pokemon game, obviously. So, you know, it's not going to have... Like, I can't talk to some random guy at work or some random Pokemon fan on the street and be like, yo, I had this sick run in Pokemon Emerald Rogue. No, it's impossible. You know, and it's a shame because I want to talk about stuff like that, right? Like how I talk about Binding of Isaac, right? Oh, I had this one sick run where I had Brimstone and Ludovico or, you know, whatever the frick, you know, whatever item combination. I can't do that with Emerald Rogue. It's a shame. Because then, in order for me to talk about a run I had in Emerald Rogue, I first have to explain the concept of the game and explain how the game was made and all this other crap and what a ROM hack even is, you know? Definitely played more PvP isn't included, Rogue. It's almost like I designed my game about being replayable and fun. True. Quite literally. If only most game companies think the same as you. The Switch is the problem as well, because the hardware is so weak. It has to be optimized more for the game to run on what it can offer. Still, that shouldn't happen on console release. I still, like... Even if it requires more optimization, man, I still am not going to blame the Switch. I don't care. I cannot blame the Switch knowing, when I full well know what games have run on the Switch, I cannot even for a second say that it's the Switch's fault that the game runs so bad. Because, bro, like, come on, man. They need to get, like, Monolith Soft on frickin' the new Pokemon game. I just remember that Turret went to sleep 20 minutes ago already, and he just now found out. Been sleeping for a good while, already in dreamland. Maybe he will wake up before he catches up. Turret is probably dreaming of this very stream in his head still. AZ was like 3,000 years old. Bro, he's going to be in this game. Whether, I mean, you probably won't play as him. God, that'd be sick. He's going to be a major part. I actually fully believe what Dom said. It's called ZA. It's called ZA. Of course AZ will be here. Of course he will be here. Bro, I cannot believe that. I actually think that's the main reason why it's ZA, not for the reason Abby brought up. I 100% think it's ZA because of AZ. That's my new theory. 100%. Daddy's got something, credit for something Abby brought up. Lamau. Imagine dreaming of this discussion. I've dreamt of Persona discussions this month. It's been enough. I don't think the game is set far back enough to have you play during the initial use of the machine that made AZ immortal. Right, but I'm just saying AZ will be in the game. 100%. AZ will be in the game. I kind of hope it is, though, but I don't think it will be, just because we saw Lumio City. Like, Lumio City being a thing, it cannot be set that far back. Unless time travel is involved, which they could do via Area Zero. Boom. That is true. Time travel is quite literally in Scarlet and Violet. I guess that's possible. AZ Part 2. I called it. Julian, you did not call Jack. You said Legends Unova. Anybody could say, nobody called this. Shut the frick up. Anybody could say a new Legends game will come out. I mean, that's obvious. Well, I shouldn't say obvious, no. No, I'm capping. I was literally just saying how it was very possible they never did another Legends game. Alright, fine. No, I'm capping. What I will say is that nobody... The only reason why I reacted that way is because this is a curveball that it was Legends Z. Alright? Ain't nobody expected this as the next Legends game. Nobody expected this. So take that poke out of your name, Abby. From now on, I shall be known as Pokin to Abby. He is so close to the finish. To me, it's still a miracle how Breath of the Wild runs on the Switch. Yeah, but it's because they actually did a good job. They optimized for it. It's the same with Xenoblade. Xenoblade 2 and 3 run great. They run amazing. And those are even bigger games. Like, come on now. It's coming up. Hey, I'm here. Everyone was expecting Legends. It's just we were expecting Legends Celebi or Kyurem, not ZA. Indeed. Indeed, indeed, indeed. He's here. Whoa! Let's go! Yeah! I caught up. That was fun. I enjoyed talking with y'all. Yeah, I think everyone could tell it was a Legends game, but they were going back and forth between which type it will be based on, and nobody expected Z. Yeah. 24-minute delay has been canceled. Yes, sir. We're here. But yeah, now that I'm caught up, how hyped are y'all? Y'all excited? I'm excited. I really am. Like I said in my debates, at bare minimum, I think it'll be as good as Legends Arceus, and that's all I need. That's all I need. If it's as good as Legends Arceus, I'm happy. And guess what? It'll probably be even better. Almost a full hour since we started the time prediction. Lamau. Pele is my favorite thing that has come from Pokemon since Heart Gold Soul Silver. Agreed. Agreed. Heart Gold Soul Silver is a huge one for me too. Yeah, man. Like, so much passion. Like, you could tell there was love in Arceus. Even though, like, yes, the game had issues, there was definitely love put into it, you know? For new and old fans. For just gamers, right? Hyped app for more Legends. I'm so hyped, yeah. Honestly, this is a great reveal, but for me, after the other stuff that was announced the past week, this is number 3 on my excitement list. What is your list, Dom? This is a big deal for me, man. Am I bad for saying I'm more excited for DLC Persona 3 Reload? Listen, man, I love Persona 3 Reload. It's my game of the year easily. Easily. But no, this is still extremely exciting for me. 100 on 100%. And I'm going to be streaming it. I'm excited. Maybe I'll do a Legends Arceus stream to hype it up. I got to find out a way to replay through Legends Arceus in a fun way. I don't think Nuzlocking is fun for Legends Arceus. How could I do it? I want to do some sort of challenge. Like to hype up Legends Z. When that DLC drops, I get to phase out of this stream for a few weeks again. Lamau. It's surprising to me. I mean, because, usually you like to lurk anyway. But, I mean, it's not something that you're interested in, so it makes sense. Number 1 is Elden Ring DLC. Oh, that makes sense. Number 2 was Killer Clowns, an outer space game. What? Okay. But, yeah. Persona is one of those series I have negative interest in. Well, that's fair. It's very, I think the thing with Persona is that it's very, it's very weeb. Like, very, very, very weeb. Like, it's another level of weeb. Like, it's probably the weebiest game you could play, besides maybe, like, Genshin Impact. Like, yeah, I don't know. And it's so story-driven, I mean, listen, I love the game so much, but it was a terrible stream. I'll keep saying it. And I said that since the beginning. It's a terrible stream game. But, God, I loved it. I ended that last Persona 3 Reload stream on, like, some sentimental crap, bro. Style game or a 3v7 game. Dead by Daylight style game where 3v7 type of game. Interesting. Nice pin. Lamau. You do like Dead by Daylight. There's way worse stuff weeb-wise. That's true. But it's also long. I think that's why I consider it so weeby. Is that, like, what is a longer weeb-like game, story-wise? I don't think, like, there's not a series that is longer than, like, that's going to take more than 100 hours worth of story gameplay, you know? And you're invested for that long, right? And that stream on 2 hours. I don't want to close the game talk. I know. I don't care for any weeb games, I think, which is fair, you know. For me, it's like, I understand why people aren't interested in it, you know. And honestly, if I didn't play Persona 4 Golden back when I did, I might never, even when Joker was announced for Smash, I might never have played Persona 5, even when that became big. I don't know, man. Because Persona was always a PlayStation IP before it now is finally becoming cross-platform. So I don't know. If it wasn't for Let's Plays and YouTube, I might have never experienced my favorite game series. Yakuza, does that count? Yakuza's pretty weeby. Yakuza isn't that weeb. Okay, I shouldn't say weeb. It's definitely very, I don't think it did, but it's definitely not on the same level, 100%. But it does have a lot of references, right? I gotta finish Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth. I think maybe we're just having different scales of weeb. I'm on a whole different level. I wouldn't say weeb game, but I also don't exactly know where I would put it. Dom doesn't like considering it a weeb game because he doesn't like it, and he values himself as a weeb. But, you know, it's just, you could not like a weeb game and still be a weeb. It's definitely a weeb game, though. 100% it's a weeb game. I think of weeb as a whole interested in Japan and niche Japanese culture stuff, not just anime. Yeah, maybe you're right, actually. I think that is technically the correct definition of weeb. When I say weeb nowadays, I definitely just mean more so the anime spectrum. But you are right. That is technically the weeb, like, that's the definition, right? Like, that's what it used to be. But I feel like the word weeb has definitely, I don't want to say evolved, but I almost want to say devolved, right? Into basically just being an anime fan. It's husbandos instead of waifu, so surely it should count. True. In that, because I'm very weeb, I guess. What do you mean the Yakuza games are great? I still gotta play the Yakuza games. I'm sure I'd love them. Wow. Good reveal. Yeah, I mean, I don't have anything else to say. I feel like this is great. I feel like I really talked a lot about why I think this will be a good game. I do think this will be a good game. And if it's a bad game, unfort, right? Collecting a bunch of I can fix him buff men. Did they really skip Gen 5 Remake? No, they're not skipping Gen 5 Remake. Legends is not a remake. Hello? Have you played Legends Arceus? I think it's actually cool that we're exploring two different regions around the same time, because I assume Black and White Remake will come out similar time frame as Legends Z, but it'd be even better if it comes out a whole year after. We get some, like, real time between releases. I mean, that'd be great. But if we're going around the same logic as BDSP and Legends Arceus, then it would make sense if they came out within a few months of each other, which would suck. But again, if Black and White comes out 2026, that'd be fire. That would indeed be fire. A lot of great moments in them. I've seen a few moments in the Yakuza games. I'm sure I would love it. Sounds like the other end of the spectrum for waifus, not gonna lie. What does ZA mean? We were theorizing that ZA is it's like, you know, remember AZ from X and Y? I think he's gonna play such a pivotal role in this game. I really, really do. That's why it's called ZA, AZ, right? Why else would they do ZA? That's the only logic I can get behind ZA. Because why would they not just call it Legend Z if it was not going to be so prevalent around AZ? I think he's going to be a major character, actually. Because even in X and Y, I mean, he was a major character, but, like, it's not like the story of X and Y is good, but, like, it felt like he was just kind of there. You know what I mean? Like, yes, he was made immortal, but, like, I don't know. ZR, probably. You're still ranting? Not really ranting. Now I'm all caught up. I'm, you know. I wouldn't really consider this ranting. This is, we're conversing. I was ranting. He never stopped. I are being the sound of those water tubes make. Legend of Zelda. Hey, yo, new Zelda game. Damn. Zygote alternate. Gamaf got our asses. This is the new Zelda game. Pokemon and Legend of Zelda crossover. Legend of Zaza, we're gonna be getting hella high in this game. Yes, sir. Still ages behind? No, only a few minutes behind now. We didn't spam enough. True, yeah, y'all threw. And Dom thought I was gonna end stream before I caught up. Listen, man, if there's one thing I'll pride myself on being a streamer, it's that I love talking to chat. I'll talk to chat until I reach the end every day of the week. I don't give a damn. There is yet to be a stream where I do not read every message. Or have somebody read them to me. 24-minute delay got canceled. I hope this game, we get insulted by French people. Pfft. Hope so. Bonjour, shut up, speak English. God, man. I still can't believe it was Legend Z. I really can't. And I'm just happy Legends is continuing, man. I'm so happy Legends is continuing as a series. Because, again, man, it's the most fun I've had with Pokemon. I played Legends like I played Breath of the Wild, bro. I was just in there playing it for 10 hours a day. I'd wake up, pull up Legends. Bro, I have not played a Pokemon game like that since I was a kid. You have to understand, I play the game the whole day while I'm an adult. You know? That's such a big deal. And my attention span is so much smaller now, too. They really made a game for Basehead? True. Okay, but, like, when are we gonna make a Legends anime, though? That'd be fire. I'd love to see that. You do some shiny challenge for PLA replay through? I could, but I don't know, man. I'm not really a shiny hunter kind of guy. Granted, shiny hunting in PLA would be a lot easier than other games, but I don't know. Chat, give me some ideas about how I could replay Legends Arceus for like a challenge, right? For streams. Like, what would you be interested in watching for a replay of that game? Some sort of challenge. Maybe Baby Run, right? No evolving. How about just no evolving in general? Evolving is banned. You can still catch fully evolved mons. Because you could do that, right? The game asks you if you want to evolve something. Could work. I wouldn't want to do a Nuzlocke. Nuzlocke in that game just sounds, like, rough. Because that game is not necessarily easy by any means. Like, you lose a lot of mons. The game, the way it's built for its battle system, Nuzlocking is super bad. Like, it's basically impossible to avoid some deaths. Can only use shiny mons or something, so it's more podcasty. I get it. I do get it, but I still feel like the game would be podcasty even with a different challenge. I don't know, is that something y'all would be interested in watching? It's just not something that I usually go for, right? Shiny Knight MPLA always reminds me of how I lost a Shiny Alpha Gardevoir. Yikes. I don't know, I feel like the challenge has to be catching based to fit with the game. True. You gotta limit catching in some way. Okay, yeah, we gotta think about it from a different perspective. You're right, chat. You're absolutely right. It's not really about the battling, it's about the catching. So how can we limit catching? No crafting? That'd be kind of rough, no? You couldn't craft Pokeballs? You can find Pokeballs, right? Is that possible? That could make a good YouTube video, if it's hard. No crafting? Catch a new team after each team fight? That just sounds annoying, TBH. Only catch Pokemon outside of battle? Yeah, but that's a little too easy, Grease. I do that anyway. I barely ever catch Mons inside of battle. I have a few... Trainer fight, not a Nuzlocke, per se. Only surprise catch, Ninja Challenge. I mean, that's basically just playing the game. I want something that, like, changes the experience, you know what I mean? I mean, surprise catching, that's what you're doing anyway, right? Like, you generally want to do that. You can only craft items, no buying them. Only catch alphas. Only catch one Mon per area at a time. The reason why I don't want to do only catch one Mon per area at a time is because the game literally locks progression behind catching enough Pokemon in your Pokedex. So, like, I still want to be able to catch as much as I want because it would just get annoying if I just have to catch a bunch of fillers that I'm not allowed to use. Like, I still want it to be fun to catch Pokemon. I don't want it to feel like it's a waste of time, right? Like, if I'm still catching Mons, like, again, like, let's say, as a baseline, like, I do no crafting, like, but yeah, I guess you wouldn't be able to buy them either, because buying would be too free. I forget, is it easier to buy Pokeballs or craft them? I thought it was crafting that made them easy. I'm trying to, I guess you could do no craft, no buy, but how do you get Pokeballs then? Ain't no way I'm making a list while they're saying stuff that I'm putting in my list. Full aggro, never allowed to stealth. Always have to draw aggro and catch all alphas in an area before moving on. Yeah, but I would do that anyway. I think I did that for my original playthrough. You can only catch one of each Pokemon, so no duplicates. But again, if I do that, then I think I'd be locked out of progression a lot of time. Buying is easier. No movement in boss battles. No movement in boss battles. You're gonna get dicked. Yeah, I really do want a unique way to replay through Legends Arceus. Can you get Pokeballs if we ban crafting and buying? I don't think so. Do you? I'm trying to remember. I only played the game once, so honestly, it's kind of a blur for me. No teleport? That's just annoying. I think you'd be fine since you would still be catching a lot of Mons, but you just won't be able to have multiple of a certain Mon. But I feel like having multiple of a certain Mon is kind of important. I think you can find them on the ground rarely, but it'd be such a grind. You're not wrong. I'm just trying to think of how can we make something really unique. A really unique Legends Arceus challenge. I don't know. I'm really trying to think. No dupes monotype? I guess that could work. But it doesn't really have to do with catching. We could do monotype only or like shiny only, but those are kind of basic. Yeah, I kind of want to do something more unique, like something catching related, like y'all said, because that's what the game is based on, right? Every time your Mon faints, you strip a piece of clothes. Pfft. No agile strong style? I don't think that matters, to be fair, Grease. You could definitely play the whole game without agile or strong style and be fine. Both in-game and IRL, true. You could do, you are only allowed 400 Pokeballs. You aim to catch as many Mons as possible in the decks. Huh. That's not bad. Is there exactly 400 Pokemon in the game? Time limit per area catch-wise. See how full you can get the decks? I just assumed. Let me check. That would be interesting. You're only allowed the amount of Pokeballs. Yeah, because I do want to avoid grinding, to be fair. I don't want to have to grind. Or hell, maybe we could even just do limited Pokeballs per area. There's 42, including the mythicals. I was about to say, what the fudge? 42? 252. What the fudge? 242. 400 balls. That gives me a little bit of leeway. Having a stroke, clearly. That wouldn't be bad, limiting the amount of Pokeballs you could use. And I could have like a counter on the stream for how many balls I have left in the entire run. That's not bad, actually. Right? Like right here, I could do balls remaining. And then do a little bit of 400, right? Hey, yo! Okay, well, you get the idea, right? Something like this. Okay, well, this looks bad, obviously, but you get my point. That's not bad. How about 300 balls? You could do the one Pokeball, but you gain one after each main story area. $60 balls spare. Don't take my balls. Balls deep run. Or 250 if you're feeling challenging. So you only have 8 extra. The problem with it being that tight is that if I ever miss a ball or if it just doesn't catch, because like there's so many times if you're catching an overworld, like it's never going to be a guaranteed catch. And like if we're doing this, we basically can't catch alphas. Because alphas are way too risky to waste balls on. Right? Yeah, maybe this is a good idea for a challenge. I kind of like this. Because we're really going to have to preserve our balls and yet still make all of the achievements to move on through the game. But I also see, like, from a YouTube perspective, like from a content perspective, it'd be really good if we literally use the exact amount of balls that there are Pokemon in the game. It's like, what, 242? But I think it would be impossible. Well, not necessarily, right? If we use 242 balls, because we could also evolve Pokemon, right? And that wouldn't waste a ball. Not a bad point. Maybe we could do 250. It's just we basically cannot catch alphas. We basically cannot. Because it takes way too many balls to catch alphas. It's in the spirit of the game in that you are attempting to fill the decks, but have to be smart about what catches to go after. Yeah, I kind of like that, actually. I like where this is going. Let's see if we can fine-tune this a little bit. I do like this, though. You could do... doing specific side objectives gives you balls. Oh! Like, you cannot craft. You cannot... No, that doesn't work. Never mind. It doesn't work. Because we're not going to actually have 300 balls at the start of the run. We're still going to craft as many balls. It's just I'm going to have a counter on screen saying how many balls I have. Like, I have used, basically. Entering an area gives you 50 on the counter. Defeating an alpha gives you 5. Catching an... The problem with this, and I do think this is really fun for a stream, I don't think that'll be good for a video. Because, like, how do you explain that in, like, a YouTube title, right? Like, there's too many rules. Like, I feel like with just limited balls, like, you could be like, could I beat Legends Arceus with only 200 Pokeballs or something, or 300 or whatever? Winning a boss fight gets you more balls, a wipe. I kind of like winning a boss fight. I feel like that's simple, right? A wipe in a boss fight costs you balls. Ooh! That's good, Silence. That 242 is including Shaman, Darkrai, Manaphy, and Fione. And I can't remember how they get distributed. Something to do with BDSP. I don't think you need BDSP, but I think Manaphy, like, it's referenced how you get it in BDSP, but you can still get it without BDSP. This is part of why the flat 242 count made sense. So if you want extra balls, you need to evolve them on instead of catching it. Interesting. I have an idea, but I'm trying to remember how it would work. Maybe 242 would make sense. And, like, we get some bonus balls. Hear me out! What if, okay, this would kind of hurt the challenge, but it'd make the stream a lot more fun. What if y'all could give me balls with channel points? Right? Right? And we could do, like, some budgeting. So, like, 500 channel points could give me 5 balls. You want my balls, huh? Okay, wait. I think that'll make the stream better. You could also do a no battle run in which, when given the option, since there are some battles you have to do, you can only catch, level, and evolve by throwing a ball and hoping you get a catch. No battling. Like Pacifist run. I wonder how that would work. Would that be a challenge is my question. I guess, I mean, you still get experience for catching mons. I don't know if that's enough. Like, I feel like you could still grind even with that. I feel like with the limited ball, like, you clearly have a limit, right? Like, your limit, and it'll always be on the stream, right? Can I take away balls with points? Hold on. Maybe. Anything we take your balls away, kick W. Let us release Mons too to make it extra spicy. I could! Wait, this actually sounds kind of fun. It wouldn't be as much of a challenge at that point, but it'd be a fun stream. It definitely would. Basically, I'd be sacrificing it to be a perfect YouTube video into it being a perfect stream game. Which, honestly, maybe I would do that. It would be a fun stream. I could probably still make a YouTube video even with that, too. Oh, the chat decided to get rid of my freaking Typhlosion. Granted, that would be a lot of channel points. That'd be at least 10,000 to release them on. Huh. Because releasing them on in that challenge could be insanely bad. Let's release Mons to... I got 30k to spare. So Darkrai apparently requires you to have a BDSP save on that Switch profile. Really? I didn't even know that. Okay, well. We could do that, like, giving bits, channel points, subs, can either give, take, release, or catch a certain Mon. We could definitely do bits and subs as well. Those would have to be really strong, though, because I usually don't like to... I guess lock stuff behind paywalls. Like, channel points I'm fine with, because, you know, like, you've invested your time, right? It would have to be really strong if it's a pay, if it's like an actual paywall, right? Like bits and subs. What would be like, I guess I could lock releasing Mons behind that. I feel like that's fair. Releasing Mons could really change the run. Because, like, really think about that. What if I finally get an Ursaluna and then it gets released? Bro. I actually think 10,000 channel points is way too little to release, like, my best Pokemon, right? God, that'd be so bad. Maybe I could do that then. Like, releasing is paywalled. But like, giving and taking away balls is channel points. Or if I do let viewers release Mons with channel points, it would have to be a lot of channel points. But God, you could really ruin the run. I think Shaman is just post-game and Manaphy is hinted at in BDSP, but you could do whatever, I think. Chat screws me over whilst I try to catch them all. Ha! Yeah, that would work. Fair enough. A heavy channel point challenge before the TikTok might not be the wisest. No, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. To be fair, we could plan this Legends stream for after the TikTok block. Because, I mean, if this game is coming out in 2025, like, we could do that stream to hype up this game, Legends ZA, and we could do this stream in, like, I don't know, frickin', hell, we could do it in January if we really wanted. I know that's a long time from now, but... Or we could do, like, August. I do have plans to move out, though. I was talking about on the stream yesterday. I'm thinking about getting a house, bro. Thinking about getting a house. Heavy... But yeah, no, you're probably right. I don't think it is a good idea to do a channel point challenge before TikTok lock. Game starts, first catch, release starter. True silence. Insta game over. Yeah. Yeah. And a limited ball run, too. So you basically have full control. So you play a normal game, but we have control on you and your Mons. And what you fight, catch, and slash or run slash avoid. Like we just ban using certain mode of transport. No, I wouldn't do that. Or would I? But which mon can you release that you can't just grind for again? But that's the thing. That's the problem, right? We can't grind. We don't have balls to risk that on, right? I almost wonder if we're doing channel points, should I lower the amount of balls to like 100 and just worry? Because maybe the challenge isn't going to be... Okay, would the challenge be better to catch them all? Or would it be better to just beat the game? What do you think would be more interesting? Because catching them all would be grindy. 100%, it would be grindy. I would need to evolve, like, so many mons. And I don't know if that's good for content. But I think getting through the game with only 100 balls, and y'all could give me balls, I think that could be interesting. Give or take away balls, that is. Space-time distortion mons are probably the hardest, and I don't even think they're that bad. Maybe you get like 5 to 6 mons you could save. But you gotta save before. Maybe. We could do the one challenge in which he can only catch one type of mon, so if he loses that one mon, he can't get another one. Oh, so it's a perma-release. Yeah, definitely perma-release. I mean, yeah, I had assumed it'd be a perma-release. It's true, I was the house. Yeah, so, like, for this sake, at least releasing a mon will be, like, 10 to 20 gifted. Okay, that's way too many, to be fair. 10 to 20 gifted, like, you know, we got a small community. I think even just one sub would be enough for a redeem, right? I think one sub is plenty. Maybe I'm being a little bit too not greedy enough, but I don't know. Like, I don't think, you know, I think my monthly subs is like 17 or something last time I checked. Like 10 to 20, bro. I feel like what we're making is more of for beating the game, not catching them all. Yeah, I kind of think that's the better way to go about it. So we can lower the amount of balls by a lot then. Like, let's just say we start with 100, right? A clean 100 balls, right? Is 100 even too many? Like, if y'all could give me balls... Should I just start with, like, 50? But how many channel points is it to give balls? And how do I lose the run? Because theoretically... Okay, this is a big deal. I don't want to make it so that y'all could just always give me balls. Because then I can never really lose the run. Know what I mean? Like, I always want there to be a fright. I don't want to just be able to stand around and wait for y'all to channel point me up, you know? That sounds boring. Because that low-key happened for the last TikTok lock. Like, I wouldn't even go into the Elite Four until y'all gave me a specific item. So what, you want to release like a damn Bossmon for 1 or 5 gifted? Sure. Maybe I'm crazy, but like, I don't know. I think if you've spent any amount of money on my stream, that's valid. I get that it's only like $3, but you know what? For me, that's a big deal. I respect that. You spent your hard-earned cash on me? Sure, you should ruin the run then. Why not? I think $3 is a lot more, like, is a lot crazier than 10,000 channel points, for example. Bits are different, and if we're going to do that, we probably sit and figure out the exact prices for everything to make sure it all seems okay and not too unreasonable. That's fair. We can make a poll the day of between 100 to 200 balls in which we vote the exact amount. You get like 110, 130, 150, that method. Release them on one sub, ruin all social links. Priceless. God damn it. God damn it, I'm still pissed. I kind of like how this is going. Y'all are coming up with some good ideas. Shout outs to y'all. I like this. Delete Twitch channel, 1K subs. Take the money and run. Take the money and run. How much money is that? That's $3,000? That's not worth it. I would probably only stop streaming for... God, I don't know if I could even put a price on it. I really can't. Because this is what I really love to do. I mean, even outside of us... I was about to say like something like 10,000 or something, but realistically, would I even do that for 10,000? Maybe 100,000. Like, I don't know, streaming's a big deal to me. This is what I do in my free time. I don't know. That's a good question, I feel like. I don't know if they're... I mean, and again, I'm not trying to be, like, sentimental or anything. I just literally don't know if I would take money to stop streaming. Because, I mean, clearly I love doing this. I basically don't make anything, and I stream so consistently, right? So, yeah, I just enjoy doing it. I don't know. I don't know if I could, literally put a price tag on it. I know you're just joking, by the way, Dom, but I thought about it since you said that, and I was like, I don't think I would. Assuming I can't make a new Twitch channel. I mean, obviously, if I could, like, get paid 10,000 or 100,000 to delete the Twitch channel and then make a new one, then fine. Because I could still grab everybody from my Discord channel. We'll just start anew, you know what I'm saying? It's for the investment, yes, sir. But no, obviously, I'm assuming you can't make a new one. But I'm attached to Later Manor as a name, though. I will say. It would kind of stink to make a new name. The one thing that upset me about this announcement. Oh, what? Welcome to the stream, Stag. We've been talking a lot. The one thing. What is it? Let me see it. Let me hear it. Let me hear it. I think the fact that they didn't say early 2025 is such a big deal, man. Because they said that for Legends Arceus, man. This could be mid-2025 or end of 2025. End of 2025 would be amazing. That would be amazing. Honestly, I don't even know if that would be considered crunch. End of 2025? I don't think it could. I actually feel like that's like an adequate amount of time. I mean, again, I know we haven't seen gameplay, but, like, assuming they've been working on this game since Legends Arceus, I don't know, man. I feel like that's a pretty decent amount of time. Is that they specifically chose a time period for this game where the war that is central to X and Y's plot is already over? Yeah, that's what it seems like. That actually bums me out, too. Granted, you know, we were also talking about how time travel could technically be a thing, since time travel's in Scarlet and Violet. But you are right. Like, that's kind of weirding me out. Like, why? Can I, like, gather that this is an old... No, it's definitely still, like, somewhat recent. They've literally the most interesting time period in the world's history. Yeah, it is definitely a shame from that perspective. Either way, I mean, even if that was kind of a throw, I still think the game is going to be, at bare minimum, as good as Legends Arceus. So I'm just glad to be excited about a Pokemon game again. And it was not released in 2024, thank God. It did not even say early 2025. Megas are coming back. I'm excited. I feel like I'm not crazy to say it's not crazy to say that I'm excited. For a Pokemon game, nevertheless. I did not think this Pokemon Presents could actually excite me. You know? I thought I was bound to be disappointed no matter what. I'm satisfied with this. 2025, just flat out. Does not say early, does not say late, but it says 2025. I'm satisfied. Luma City was built afterwards, yeah. Out of the way to avoid it. The thing is that the actual blueprint shown isn't an exact match to what they showed. So it's clearly older. What, is this the blueprint? No, this is the blueprint. Huh. Yeah, I don't know. I assume that this is going to be like the new hub, right? Is Lumiose City instead of Jubilife. Which I suppose makes sense. I mean, in a way, I'll say this at least. I feel like it's low-key kind of smart in a way. Because, like, this is a completely different hub than Jubilife, right? If they were doing old-timey, like, during the war, I think the town, your hub, would be very similar to Jubilife. Am I wrong to say that? So at the very least, you have a vastly different hub that you're working with, which is kind of interesting, right? But again, I still think overall it's definitely way more disappointing that it's not during the war. But who knows, right? Maybe we could be wrong. Maybe it still has time travel, or maybe it has I don't know. Maybe it has something. We have yet to see. We cannot confirm or deny anything yet. But I kind of am down for a different styled hub, right? And I feel like Lumiose City could have a lot of facilities here. Even in old-timey Lumiose, like, we have a lot we could probably do in this hub. If this game takes place in the future, I don't know what the hell they're doing. True. But, like, again, if this is taking place in the future and the whole game's plot is about going back in time, like, time travel. Because, again, like, time travel's clearly in Scarlet and Violet. It literally just is. It's not impossible. It really isn't. Like, it takes place in the future. Your hub is in the future. But you're going back in time to, who knows, maybe the war. Right? I really don't think that's impossible. That wouldn't be terrible. Like, what if Lumiose Tower is, like, your time travel location? Like, you go to Lumiose Tower to travel back in time. Like, it blasts you up, and then you go to another part. I don't freaking know. I will say it is way too much of a missed opportunity to not do the Pokemon War. So that's why I'm kind of, like, making up these, like, copium excuses for them. You know, basically hoping that they actually, in some way, do cover the Pokemon War. Definitely not impossible, but I don't understand what they would even do with that concept. Why Kalos? Why they skip over Unova, too? Gamaf said the same thing. I don't think they're skipping over Unova, and I don't think they're skipping over a possible Legends Celebi either. You have to understand, they started Legends with Sinnoh. It's not like they're going in order. It's not like they're going in order. You know? This is a completely different consistency. They can do whatever order they want. I still think they'll eventually do Unova. They'll eventually do Celebi. They just wanted to do Z. And you know what? Guess what? If they're talking about from a perspective of enhancing older versions, guess what? Kalos needs it the most. Unova and Johto are already really fleshed out regions. Kalos is not. Kalos is not. Kalos actually needs this the most, in my eyes. This was a curveball to me, I will say. I did not expect this. But when I think about it, it makes so much more sense. They did not skip Unova. They did not skip Johto. They did not skip anything. They started with Sinnoh. Right? That is a huge jump up in scope. And this would be the Legends team's second game. Yeah. But I mean, realistically, okay, hold on. Let me just take it back for a second. Time travel was in Legends. Hold on, I'm cooking right now. Literally, your main character is the main, like, they're from current time Platinum, right? Or Sinnoh. They literally travel back in time. That's what Arceus does. So it's not like time travel's even new to Legends, realistically. Granted, yes, you're right. It's not in the actual gameplay, but is it really that crazy? The more I think about it, it's not that odd, even for Legends. You literally are time traveled. Your main character is time traveled by Arceus. And that's the whole story of the game. Freaking, what's his name? From, Indigo, from Black and White. God, what a crazy reference that was. Why did they put my man Indigo in the, or whatever, the train guy in Legends? I love him, though. I do. But what a weird character to take from. Either way, they took him flat out from Black and White, time traveled him back. You know? Hell, time travel could be literally all of the Legends games. It's not just the main character that time traveled in Legends Arceus. More people... I mean, granted, is it just Indigo and main character? It might be. But still, like, you know, that's clearly a part of the story. That is part of the game, and Indigo was a major character in that story. Honestly, God, now that I'm putting that out there, I feel like it makes more sense for there to have time travel in some way than not. Because that's literally how the game started, was time travel. That was the introduction. You don't see a professor, you see Arceus time traveling you back. Wow. I kind of just like edged my way down this rabbit hole, huh? Question for a team wipe for the Arceus idea. Would you rather it be a challenge end or some random punishment that will somehow be decided? I could see either, honestly. The problem with challenge end is that we'd have to restart the entire game, and I don't want to do that. Or we could just stop, and that's the end. We lose. I don't know. Maybe I'll set a poll for that. I do like that idea, though. You're saying the game would involve the time travel as a game mechanic. I'm not necessarily saying it has to be a game mechanic. Like, I mean, what do you mean by game mechanic? Like, going back in time could just be the level select. You know how you choose the areas in Legends Arceus? What if instead of that, you're just picking your time period? You know, it's not like, and then that time period is the area that you're going to. It's not that far-fetched, I feel like. Or hell, let's say it's always the same time period. You're always teleporting to during the war. Who knows? Right? Who knows? No matter what, AZ is in this game. It does not matter. AZ is in this game because the game is literally called ZA. The game is literally called ZA. AZ is going to be in this game. It's got to be... It can't be just only in the future. That'd be ridiculous. Going back, as in Z to A, going back, exactly. I'm just worried about their actual ability to pull it off. I mean, at the end of the day, Legends Arceus pulled it off. Again, I'm not scared about this game. I'm really not. I'm scared that it won't graphically be good, but I know the game will be good. All right? I've always said Legends Arceus is a great game. It just has bad graphics and bad performance. Like, so the game will be fun no matter what. I'm not worried about the game being fun at the very least. I'll send you something you can look over to see if you like it. Thanks, Dom. I appreciate it. I'm glad that you're excited about that idea, too. I'm excited to replay through Arceus again through some sort of challenge. I think it will likely be after TikTok Lock. Just because I think that makes more sense. Maybe like towards the end of 2024. But, you know, I mean, we'll still have plenty of time before Legends ZA, and that'll hype us up for it. So that'll be good. You're figuring they actually have to write a story around the fact they're time traveling constantly. I really don't think it's that bad. They handled it pretty well in Scarlet and Violet at the very end. Look, did you hear me? I just complimented Scarlet and Violet. The one thing Scarlet and Violet did well was its very end of game story. And guess what? They pulled it off. That crap was hype. That plot twist that the professor had been dead the whole time and they're a robot. And that was like one of the sickest boss fights too. They can do it. That was a little sneak peek. It wasn't even that big of a moment, but it was a cool moment. And it was all about time travel. You know? With Legends Arceus, it happens once at the start of the game. That's not true! Indigo! Bro! There's a whole ass major character that traveled from black and white. That's infinitely easier to... Now, granted, I do still agree that you're right. It's still way less. But, you know, like... easier to, like, write around. There's a reason that time travel stories are notoriously convoluted. But there's also a lot of really good time travel stories, like Steins Gate, right? Like, you can still make a good time travel story. And plus, like... okay, let's just be realistic here. It probably will be convoluted. The story won't matter. At the end of the day, it'll be really simple. It's still a Pokemon game. It doesn't need to be a good story. It just needs to get the job done for the gameplay. It doesn't really matter how you get to the time period you're in. That part really doesn't matter. They could gloss over that. Oh, yeah, we're at a point in time where we can time travel. Whatever. That's the end of it. Boom. You can time travel. There you go. It doesn't even have to have that many plot things. Like, nobody's going to freak out that much about the Pokemon story not being good. Are you kidding me? What Pokemon story has been good? Besides Explorers of Sky. As long as it gets us to the point that we want to get to, and that's all that matters for Pokemon. Recently, I've been super into planning stuff. I think it's because of all the blueprint and scheduling classes I've been having to take for college. I see. That's fire. So they got time travel before the game started, and the fact that he time traveled isn't even known in universe, by the way. They just think he appeared out of the rift and doesn't remember anything. I sent you something in DMs. When you can, if you are serious about the Arceus idea, I think that'd be a good fun type of rule set. Oh, I think at this point I can confirm I will do it. You know, I want to be able to hype up this new Legends game as well. And I've always wanted to replay through Legends Arceus. So, you know, I think this is a great way to do it. And no, I don't think they're skipping over Unova. And this does not mean that they're not doing black and white remakes. Like, why do people even think that? They'll still do black and white remakes. They might even still do a Johto remake. You know, like, I'm not worried for a second. The fact that time travel is glossed over by the game a ton is my point, and the game's good. Say what you will about how the game looks. The game itself, at its core, is a good video game. It just is. You know? It's fun. It's fast. It's the best Pokemon game we've ever gotten. So if they do that again here, I'll be very satisfied. And the story, while not great, was good enough. I did like the moment where you got banished from Jubilife. I thought that was interesting, right? You know, they still have some good moments. Writing a story such game that has time travel happening once and writing a story. Yes, I get the difference, Stag. It just doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. The story doesn't have to be good. It does not have to be good. It does not have to be good. They could literally open the game and they could just casually say, "Oh yeah, this is the time travel Lumiose Tower. It matters to me. Okay, I don't care." The game... What Pokemon game has good story? Nobody cares. Well, that's not true. I know a lot of people care. Hell, you care. But I'm just saying, I'd much rather focus on how it's going to affect the gameplay. And guess what? From a gameplay perspective, if we can go back in time to go to the war, chill with my man AZ, I'm happy, right? I am happy. Either way, AZ is going to be in this game. I don't care if it's current time. I don't care if time travel is not a thing at all. It doesn't matter. Either way, this is a thing. All right? AZ is in this game. You're going to be able to hang out with my man AZ. It's about time they care. It's going to be so funny when he doesn't show up at all. Bro, AZ will be in this game. All right? He will be. He just will be. He said it's been 3,000 years, bro. You're going to tell me he's 3,000 years old and he's not going to be in this game, whether current time or in the past or time travel, whatever. Imagine you use the AZ. Hey, here's my... now, this won't happen, but what if you play as AZ, bruh? That'd be so fire. They wouldn't do that, though. I know damn well Pokemon Company would not do that. That's way too compelling. You play as AZ, you go through the whole Floette storyline. Oh my god, that'd be fire. You use AZ in order to go back in time. That would make so much sense, actually. AZ's seen thousands and thousands of years. He's literally immortal. That'd actually be fire. You go back in time with him and he changes age. Or I guess he doesn't really age, does he? Whatever, he just goes with you. He would show up at the ending as a post-game battle and that's it. I could also see that. My point is that he's going to be in the game. I could also see that happening, Stag, unironically. But guess what? That's going to be another sick battle. Volo was a sick-ass battle. AZ can also be a sick-ass battle. Know what I'm saying? Nothing's going to be as sick as the Volo fight, though. I don't give a damn. I will say, I don't think this game's going to have another pog-ass moment as the Volo fight. I just don't think they can do it. That was too perfect of a battle. It was too perfect. You fight basically Cynthia's team into Giratina, into his altered form, all one after another, and get dicked. Bro. Oh my god. Alright, I think I'm done debating. That was fun. We talked for a long-ass time. God, that was a 3-hour stream? Fudge, man. That was fun. Probably not going to be another stream today because I have a lot of work to do. I wasn't even planning on streaming this, but I had a good time. I'm gonna crucified for saying this, but I was actually disappointed by the Volo fight. Bro, how? I mean, I get people have wrong opinions, but like, for exactly one reason. Why? It was perfect. Down to the last minute detail. Like, what? What was the problem with it? How could you be disappointed? I actually just don't get it. Like, what is the issue? Looking at it from an objective standpoint, I don't see how it's contextually a bad fight at all. What the frick are you talking about? It didn't take advantage of the multi-battle mechanic to have Giratina summon minions. Stag, what are you talking about? I feel like you're memeing, bro. I feel like you're memeing. What? Bro, they use both of Giratina's forms in the same fight. Even just that Giratina fight would be sick. Let alone the fact it comes right after the Volo fight. Bro. Oh my god, man. What a cool fight. Even cooler than Red, bro. Even cooler than Red. I guess that's one of the issues about doing like even a Johto or Kanto Legends game. Like, how do you make a game based on the time period before Red even existed? Like, what even was going on? You're gonna have to create something completely different. Hyped up and spoiled 300 times? Yeah, I was, lol. Yeah, but I mean, even, like, looking at it from a vacuum, like, from a story standpoint for a Pokemon game, it's perfect. Down to the last minute detail. I don't care. It is perfect. I was in awe that they did what they did. And everybody had the same exact reaction. When they finally killed Giratina, they're like, oh, finally. God, that was so hard. I barely made it out. My last Pokemon survived. Just barely. In the red. And then he goes, the freaking Giratina Platinum battle music kicks in the altered form. Oh, I love that. Oh, it's so cool. Bro, it's the only moment in recent Pokemon games I popped off when that Platinum Giratina battle music kicked in. That's so sick, bro. Oh my god. Fudge! So cool. Oh my god, so cool. Jesus. Alright, but yeah. I mean, I guess they'd have to do something similar with Zygarde. Or no, I guess not Zygarde. What legendary could they use? Maybe Volcanion? I don't freaking know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think they can possibly contextually make a boss fight as cool as the Volo fight. He summoned Giratina. He basically summoned Satan. At all. Why would they use that, though, Stag? There's no reason to use that. Honestly, I didn't even like that mechanic. I know what you're talking about. The best use of that mechanic was against the one girl that used Electivire and Magmortar at the same time. And, like, something else? I don't remember. Either way, you basically have to underlevel those mons, because it's, like... I don't think it's fun to fight underleveled mons anyway. Like, that's just dumb. Like, I don't know, man. That is one hell of a nitpick, that they don't use the multi-battle mechanic. What? What? What kind of nitpick is that, bro? It's a Pokemon battle, at the end of the day. It's also the only good Pokemon battle in that game. So it stands out a lot. There is no other good Pokemon battle in Legends Arceus. Full stop. The Pokemon battles in that game were not good. Also because the battle mechanic itself is not that good. Like, and realistically, I wouldn't even say that Volo's fight itself is that interesting. Because it's basically just kill one mon, one of your mons dies. Kill one mon, one of your mons dies. Kill one mon, one of your mons dies. Just because that's how the battle system works. I just mean from a contextual standpoint, it's cool. I'm not even saying the battle was interesting. The battle was cool. Alright? It was the sickest battle in the series. Just released the A in the title. Looks like the ultimate weapon in the game before it opens up. Huh. Interesting. The Paths of Solitudes are pretty cool as well. I gotta stop. Ultimate weapon was a flower. Yeah, the ultimate weapon was a flower. But I mean, you know, I think that is kind of what they're going with right here, right? I think. Like, it kind of looks like roots here. Or is that supposed to be like the cells of the Zygarde cells? Maybe. No, these are the Zygarde cells, though. So I feel like this is like kind of like roots, right? That's kind of what I was given the impression of. Honestly, I feel like Zygarde and Yveltal could use a glow up. I feel like they're like low. They're not irrelevant legendaries. They're so relevant and competitive. But like, I feel like just because they were the mascots of X and Y, I don't know. It feels like they don't have much going for them. From a story perspective, at least. Obviously, they're really good in battle. Root, you know. You know what have roots? Flowers. Yeah, that's kind of what I was getting at. I do think that has something to do with it there.
Pokemon Presents all 14 minutes of it. Everyone woke up early. Joshua
Pizza, which is from
Pikachu.
Italy.
Oh, wait, this is IGN, I see. I was like, what? Wait, is this part of the Pokemon Direct? No. I see. Either way, that was great. I really liked that. Thank you so much for watching. I had a fun time talking with chat. I actually had more fun talking with chat than I did actually watching the Direct. But yeah, I'll see y'all tomorrow. We'll play more Bloodborne. Have a great night. Later, manners.